There you go.
Hello! Hi everyone! Hi Eli, hi Vasoko, hi Greg, hi Sen!
Hello.
I'm here again with another episode, the 11th episode of Nostalgic Chatters. We've surpassed 10. Now we're on to double digits, and
Finally.
my second first guest, my 11th guest is here.
My second first. This is my second to first guess. Two number ones.
Two number ones. You're not my number one, but you're my second number one. Does that make
My
sense?
second number one, yeah.
So go on, you want to introduce yourself?
Oh yeah, well, I'm very. It's hard for me to do that, but I am Jexoy. I'm an artist and gaming streamer. I play funny video games and I do art. You may or may not have seen a lot of the art that I do, because I always post it. It's usually I'm either posting the sneak, the hide the peek one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm posting the bounce emote because I find them very funny. And yeah, I animate stuff. No, that's pretty much it. There's something.
You draw, you animate. You're the guy who draws.
I draw anime. Yeah, I'm a man of few words. At least about myself.
That's fair. That's fair. Some of my longtime viewers might recognize Jax because we've done a few streams before together. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, Eli, thanks for the gift sub. Oh my goodness, that's so sweet. Wagga baga boga. That's so sweet. Thank you, Eli. Oh my god, there's so many gift subs for the past few streams. Oh my god. Thank you.
I know, it's crazy what I saw last time.
Yeah, no, that was actually insane. Which also, I forgot something. Hold on, just 1 minute. I forgot to do something.
Go ahead.
Entertain the chat for a moment, Jax. Just like for a millisecond.
All right, Chad. Hello, Chad. Can you see me?
Right,
I'm animated.
You've entertained the chat.
Oh, there you go. I was gonna say like, oh, I can lift up my hand.
Yeah, you can lift up your hand, and I can lift up my hand too.
You can.
It looks more like how you're lifting your hand. It looks like you're like presenting something.
Yeah, I'm like, look, I have a thing in my hand. Look at this like grilled cheese sandwich I have.
He's like, it's right, it's there. You just can't see it.
It's right there. You can't see it. You can't see it. You're not allowed. You haven't been blessed by grilled cheese gods yet.
You're not allowed to see it.
You're not allowed.
He's like, only I can see it, but it's there.
Only I can see it. It's not imaginary. It's real. It's real.
Oh my god. I got like a notification on my PC saying like, hey, we're gonna restart, and I'm just like, no.
Oh no.
Schedule the restart for like Saturday while I'm asleep. Don't do it now. I can't have another Sen interview stream where all my segments are cut into pieces. I can't have that again.
I can't believe it's gonna be like the old YouTube days where you're gonna watch an anime, you're gonna watch part 1 of like 17, and they're like each 3 minutes long.
Oh no! Did you ever see how bad it came to editing Sen's stream? This is not Sen's fault, by the way. It was completely my internet, by the way.
Oh, I have not, but I'm pretty sure it was a nightmare.
Oh, I actually have a screenshot of it. I don't mind
Oh my god,
sharing
please.
it. Hold on.
Please.
Let me... I sent like 2 screenshots. I'm gonna send you like the worst one I had to deal with.
Okay. Let's take a look.
Tim, are you using your phone hotspot again? Not yet. I have it on the ready, but like so far, we should be good. Just knock on wood, you know.
Yeah.
But this is.
I was actually. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I was actually worried because we were having some weather issues coming in, but everything seems to be perfectly fine right now.
Oh.
It's not that bad, so everything's all good.
I have a bone to pick with Zeus. I got a bone, but I'm not gonna say anything now in case he ruins anything. But this is what I had to deal with, Jegs.
Let me see. Estimated time 3 hours 10 minutes and 29 seconds on 63%. Jeez.
It was horrible. Hold on, I'm gonna throw up on chat as well. Hold on.
Sounds awful.
Chat, this is this was my nightmare for like an entire day working on Sen's interview to post on YouTube, which I have yet to do yet, but this is, let me like, oh, hold on, wait. I accidentally grabbed me.
Oh.
Like, look at the time! The time of this! I still had 3 hours left!
There I am, causing mischief.
The Sen mentioned in stream.
The Sen cameo. You know, Sen had a cameo last stream.
Oh, she did?
On her stream.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to discuss it because Sen doesn't like it. I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Okay.
Sen's gonna be like, you goober.
Yeah. What was the cameo?
It was 1,000-year door. I'm not gonna go any farther than that.
Just I love the TV. I love my TV. I need to add more channels to it.
Oh yeah, I need to add some videos on my stuff. I know that we were talking about that.
Oh,
it's like, I need to add some funny stuff.
Did I ever show you how to do it?
No, but I know that Sen was helping me. Is going to teach me how to do some of that because
it's like a website. It's a website.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think. Oh no. I think I'm gonna try putting it on Twitch alerts or something like that because you get the 2 free emotes.
I did not know about that.
Yeah. Like if you use like the Twitch alerts or something like that, you get like 2 free animated emote slots according to what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be something like even you just put 1 or 2 videos on there, you can have those free emotes.
I might look into that because I have been thinking about making new emotes actually. I would like to.
Making emotes. Yeah, making emotes is a lot of fun, especially like the animated ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I love making emotes. Like most of the emotes that I have on my channel are from me.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, actually, you know, since the last, the when you got like the big subs, you definitely got like a lot of emote slots now.
Yeah, I did. There goes my sandwich. I do have a lot of emote slots now because again, like what was it? The last stream was Sen. I keep forgetting that like that whole stream was like during Sen's interview.
I know.
Because it was actually so crazy. Jack, stop stealing some sandwich.
No, it has mustard in it, and I like the mustard.
Oh, ew, I hate mustard. Take it. I don't want it.
Exactly. You see, that's exactly why. I'm doing Tim a favor.
Yeah, you're doing me a favor. I hate mustard.
Actually, funny thing, when I was younger, I did not like mustard at all.
You didn't?
But one day, we were playing, we had like, I was part of like a little, I think it was like a little league baseball thing. Mm-hmm. And my mom she was the one who was going to bring hot dogs.
Uh-huh.
And the only topping that was available for those hot dogs was mustard. And so me as child, I grabbed it and I was just like, well, I need to eat something. And so I ate it and I was like, what? Wait, mustard good? And then that's how I started liking mustard.
You didn't eat your hot dog like raw? You didn't eat it like no sauce?
No, I put ketchup on it. It was just like ketchup.
Oh,
that's how.
I usually if there's not like a condiment that I don't like, I just eat it without it. Like no condiment, no sauce, no nothing.
I would do that sometimes if there's like no condiments. I'll be like, okay, but usually if there's nothing available, I would at least get some cheese and just put it on top of it.
Nah, eat the hot dog naked. That's what I call it. That's what I call like plain cheese pizza. I call it naked pizza.
Naked pizza.
Yeah.
It's just like pizza in its truest form.
Exactly.
Nothing but dough and cheese.
Exactly.
Not even sauce, just the cheese.
Just the cheese. Ew. That's just garlic bread then.
It's just garlic bread. I know that there are some people there's some pizza places where like if you order, you can order without any sauce. Or
really?
You can replace it with something else.
Really?
Yeah. Like you could you could replace it with like
there goes again.
Parmesan.
Oh my god, there it goes.
There goes it's really interesting.
I did not know that. That's interesting, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're gonna learn a lot of new things. At least I am about you specifically, because we're gonna talk about questions about you.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be very, very weird.
I'm honestly, there's no right or wrong answers to this. So we're just here to have a good time. The giant emo. Oh my god. How do you
There
do
it
that?
is. You gotta. Oh, easiest thing. So you go into your, you go to the bits, or you go to where the channel points are. First thing that pops up says power ups. You can put Gigantify an emo, on screen celebration, or message effects.
I need to get more, like, I need to do more reward stuff. Like, genuinely. I'm like the most uncreative person when it comes to those kind of things. Like, rewards.
Oh, same. I don't have anything on there.
Like, people will be like, oh my god, I love this streamer because their rewards are so much fun, and, like, I can redeem, like, to give them a wedgie, or, like, I don't know, set their house on fire, and I'm just like, I don't know, you want to highlight your message or something?
You want to highlight your message? You want to take my sandwich?
You want to take my sandwich? That's about it. He's like, oh yeah, but I can throw stuff at this streamer, or I can set their house on fire, or I can sell their items for ransom or something. I'm like,
I can sell their organs.
yeah. I'm just like, I don't know. You want like a free emo or something? I don't know.
Oh.
Fortnite banana. I have the Fortnite banana. I need more redeems. Genuinely. Oh my god, the sandwich keeps coming back. Hell yeah.
Going away, please.
Hell yeah. Sorry.
That cat cracks me up. Like every time I save up so that I can redeem that cat. It just cracks me up.
The fucking cat just goes meow. I've been thinking.
I've actually been getting a lot of more. Yeah, you should definitely add more.
I was thinking about it. I was gonna say I was adding more cat ones specifically.
Oh yeah, no, those are fun. I've been getting recommended a lot more cat videos ever since I got a cat.
Oh, you have a cat?
It's really funny. I do have a cat now. So like almost a year ago, my dad found a little kitten, and we ended up saving it, and we raised it basically. Mm-hmm. And now she's running around parkouring on everything and it's causing a ruckus, especially today.
Oh, what did she
jumping
do?
On sofas and stuff. Well, because I usually don't let her in my room because I have wires and stuff.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, she doesn't come in. But I sometimes have to take care of like a family member. Mm-hmm. And so I leave the door open. And I'm like, okay, I'll leave the door open, take care of the family member. And then she'll come in. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Roryzer, thanks for resubscribing. Hey, what's up? Thanks for subscribing. Oh my goodness, thank you. I appreciate so much, Roryzer. Thank you.
There you go.
But, yeah.
So
sure.
So basically, now she's getting more and more bold, and she's entering the room, mm-hmm. and she enters the room because like I guess she wants to find me and attack my legs.
Yeah.
And then like she'll go on the window because we have a window, and she'll mm-hmm. just sit there for a while, mm-hmm. just staring at nothing, mm-hmm. and then she'll just leave and make a loud thud when she jumps off of her bed. And then just like leaves and then repeats the process like 2-3 times. Aside from the parkouring that she always does, she jumps at the wall and then she's like kicks off the wall. Like she does it all the time.
That's amazing! Oh my god.
Yeah, I wish I could capture it, but it's really hard because like I tried taking a video and every time I take a video, she just like stops doing what she's doing.
She's camera shy.
She just like knows. Well, she's camera shy for me because my sister gets like the best videos and pictures of her. Mm-hmm. I can't take a picture to save a life. I can't take a picture to save anyone's life, even though I took a photography course. She's which is barely funny.
She just does not like being like, I guess, photographed by you, I guess.
It probably nope. He can.
Oh my god. Oh, that's silly. I have like a new kitten in my household too, actually. Mm-hmm. He's an orange cat, so he doesn't have much of a brain.
Oh god. Oh no.
I already have a cat before because my mom really wanted a boy cat because she thought mm-hmm. Our current cat was like lonely. So she adopted mm-hmm. a boy cat. I don't know if that was a good idea because every so often he'll attack her. The female cat, our female cat.
That's so funny.
So he'll attack her often, or she'll attack him, because, like, you know, dominance and, like, oh, this is my territory.
I don't think we can handle more than one cat, aside from the cat that we have outside.
We managed to get used to it. We were very, like, shaken up. Just like, maybe this wasn't a good idea. Should we return him? But, like, we didn't. And we love him, even though he's a little scrunkly.
He's a little scrunkly.
He's a little stinky. He screams a lot. He's very loud.
My cat, she doesn't really meow unless she wants food or my sister's here.
What kind of cat is she?
I don't know. She's like brown. I think she's like a mix or something. I'm not entirely sure.
Is she like a short hair or long haired?
Short hair, kinda.
She might be.
Yeah, short.
She might be a short haired American short haired cat.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what my cat is. That's what my female cat is.
I can probably see if I can send you a picture in DMs. Hold on, I might still have it on my phone.
No, take your time.
Because like, I mean, we just kind of found her, and I'm also not very aware of like breeds.
Yeah.
Like, because like before I Oh, there you go.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Greg.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. To Kansas City. I think I've seen that name before.
I swear, Greg.
Wait, are we really gonna do another hype train but with Jex this time? Are we really doing this again?
I gotta send you the DM. Greg, please.
Are we really doing another hype train? Oh yeah, no, that's an American short hair.
Okay, really?
Yeah, because my cat is like that. Hold on, I can show it. Oh my god, Sen!
Oh, funny hype train.
Oh my god, Sen, thank you for the bits! Oh my god, Sen, you're so sweet. Oh my god. You didn't have to do that. Wait, oh my god, you're crazy.
Chat, remember, you can get level 1, 2, actually, and even further beyond hype train emotes.
I'm trying to recall.
If you participate.
Last time we had a hype train, or like during the sub event, the crazy sub event that happened. Oh my god, Aurora!
Oh, there you go.
God, Aurora user! Oh my god, the gift subs! Oh my goodness! I was sure. Oh, I'm gonna lose my brain again. Oh no. I'm gonna actually lose my brain again.
Chat, this is your opportunity to smush Tim's brain.
You're smushing my brain out. This is not my American short hair, but this is the orange cat that we get, the boy cat that we have.
Oh, let me see. Let me go ahead and see that. Oh my god.
Yeah!
I was gonna say that's cute, but it is, but at the same time, it's like, you can tell that's an orange cat. Yeah. It's ready.
Yeah, he's orange.
That's so funny.
I was trying, here's like the picture of both of them as well. Oh my god!
Let's see.
Cap, thank you for the bits! They're cuddling together. That's the one picture I have of them being sweet.
That looks exactly like my cat, yeah.
Yeah, she's my cat's an American short hair, so yours is definitely American short hair. I was trying to say, I'm trying to remember, like, cause Sen brought last time, like, I was a few subs away from, like more emote slots, I think. I don't remember how much it was.
Okay.
So now I'm just...
You can check.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, go ahead and check. Chat. Remember, you can destroy Tim's brain.
My brain. My brain.
Yeah, you can destroy Tim's brain by participating in the hype train.
Meow. We're 10 subs away from...
Chat, 10 subs. That's 2 5 gifted subs. You can do that.
The chat does not have to do that, or, sweats.
You could.
You could, but you don't have to. Could. No pressure.
But you could.
You could, but no pressure. Oh my god, we just started the stream. Why does everything happen during, like, the first 20 minutes of my streams?
That's so funny.
Like, usually, like, it's either, like, something always happens the first 20 minutes, or, like, like, later into the stream. But it's always between those two time gaps. The first 20 minutes, or, like, later.
Don't forget to hydrate.
I see the hydrates. Oh, no. Oh, no, I'm scared.
That's...
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Meow. No, Aurora user, no!
This is an extreme thirst.
This is an extreme thirst. I thought about Jex. I don't know if you ever remember. I put like a timer on my hydrate button once.
I know you did. I know you did.
Yeah.
This happened. You know, actually, I did not have a timer on my hydrate redeem until one time when I was streaming Pizza Tower. Like at the end of the game, I just kept getting hydrates and hydrates and hydrates, and I kept drinking during each one of them. And I was like, "There's no problem. There's no problem." And chat's like, "Are you seeing the issue?" I'm like, "No." And I'm like still chugging water at the same time.
Oh my god, Jex, no! I do drink.
I know, I was practically drowning.
I do drink water when I see hydrates, but I don't often keep up with them. I only let the hydrate button be unlimited because I know people love to press it.
If I got like a lot of hydrates, I would have probably taken like a bigger.
Oh my god, Jex dead.
I know.
Oh my god. Well, thank you guys for the gift subs and the hype train. I appreciate it. While that's still going on, Jex, I'm gonna interrogate you now with a question.
Oh, finally, it's time.
It's time.
Go to prison.
We got so distracted with cats and subs and all that.
I know.
So, Jex, what
Yes.
would you define nostalgic to you? And this could be your own definition or from your own life experiences.
Okay, so so in terms of nostalgia is pretty interesting because like it's basically what I would say is things that make you feel for a time long gone. So people usually gravitate towards their childhood, right? Because their childhood makes them nostalgic because it's a time. Because people are usually adults when they start having nostalgia over their childhood. So it's like they feel like it's a time that's long gone. And so there you go. Hype train complete.
Thank you guys for the hype train. Love you all. But yeah, continue.
And so nostalgia, I would say, is a longing for the past.
Skibbity! Thanks, Eli, for the bits!
Skibbity.
Skibbity. Wait, fuck, I missed it!
You missed it, you did miss it.
I'm sorry. But yeah, continue.
And so I would say nostalgia is like kind of like a longing for the past, because technically you can have nostalgia for things that you never really experienced, or even like things that happened not that long ago. So you can feel nostalgic over something like, for example, I would say I feel nostalgic over like the early days of me and Sen, right? Even though that was like a year ago.
Right.
So but like childhood is important because like it's kind of like the time of innocence, right? It's a time of like, things were different compared to what they are now. So people like to relive those times, and so they try to re-experience things that would kind of take them back to that like younger part of their life, when things weren't as complicated as they are currently. So in terms of like what I would define nostalgia as, I would say is the longing for something that has passed. So that's what I would say.
That's a very highly technical definition. I like that.
I mean, I did think about that before, but yeah, nostalgia, especially since right now I'm currently on a nostalgia
binge
kick. Yeah, I'm binging through a lot of nostalgic things at the moment, so it's really nice. And you can make those. Yeah, longing for an era gone by. Yep, that's what I would define. The nostalgia as.
That's a.
What would you think?
I think that's a good answer. Good answer. No, I was like, every time I always ask this question, it's always like, I mean, there's nothing to disagree with. Like, it's, I at this point I made the joke saying like, yeah, nostalgia is like reminiscing good memories, but it's like, oh, what about the bad memories? Like, that's just called trauma.
That's called trauma. Well, it's kind of like you don't when you think about nostalgia, it's usually in rose tinted glasses. Like you don't really think about kind of like the negative times because it's kind of more of like the sum of its parts,
Yeah.
rather than like each individual experience, right?
Right.
Like I can tell you like when I was a kid, there was a lot of fun cartoons to watch and all that stuff, right? But I don't tell you, I don't remember, or I don't tell you the parts of kind of like, messing with the antenna as a kid, being frustrated that the TV can't turn on, and stuff like that, because you forget about that kind of stuff and you remember, hey, I watched SpongeBob for 8 hours straight,
Right.
So stuff, it's kind of like that. You just kind of forget all the, the annoying stuff, and you just remember all the good stuff.
No,
Hey, Wasteland.
Hi, Wasteland. No, yeah, that does make that it makes sense and it is correct. You win.
You win. You are correct.
Again, like that was the way you defined it sounds so like highly technical, like such a high technical like definition of nostalgia. I like it though. I do like that. Like it sounds smart.
It sounds smart.
Well, besides that, it's more or less like there's no other way you can define this. Oh my god, Waste, thank you for the bits. Oh my god, 100 bits. Thank you.
You Wasteland.
I'm losing my train of thought. Oh no. No, but no, yeah. Yeah. The bits has interrupted my train of thought.
Thank you, chat. If you donate more bits, we can derail the stream even more.
Oh my god, it just won't be an interview stream at this point.
It'll be just like a thing. I ruined the train. No, the train didn't come yet. The train already came by.
There's two trains. The one that just came by, which is the hype train, and then there's my train of thought.
My train of thought.
If you want to derail my train of thought, people just like giving in the chat, that will easily derail my train of thought.
That's so funny.
I
ruined the thought train.
I was surprised I managed to continue Sen's stream, for God's sakes, after what happened.
I mean, you did pretty good though.
I did.
I do
it again. Thank you, Waste. Oh my god. Well, to try to reconnect my train of thought.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna move on to the next question, if that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead. Take your time.
Alright, so was there any children's media that you watched as a tot that you think would be impactful to kids nowadays in this growing generation? And I'm gonna throw you a loop that I throw everyone. You can list a good impacting cartoon and a negative impacting one.
Oh god. So I did watch a lot of cartoons when I was younger. Especially good stuff. I mean, like I'm talking about like early SpongeBob. That's some of the good stuff. Early SpongeBob. Like if you weren't there during those eras, I know you were, Tim, but like if you weren't there for those eras, I mean you were missing out, because that was like the golden age of like being a kid and watching cartoons. So, SpongeBob, you gotta watch at least seasons 1 through 3. You can watch some of season 4, and if you want, you can continue watching. I know that the animation's gotten better in some of the newer ones. I don't know about the writing, but I know the animation's a little bit better. But
I think I've commented that like I'm not really too crazy about some of the new SpongeBob stuff, but there is some stuff that is kind of funny, genuinely.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of it though, so I don't really know. I kind of like. At some point, I just did. I was like, I don't.
Bubble Bass is there a lot.
I heard about the part where he was the nostalgia critic.
Yeah.
So that's really funny. In terms of like bad media, oh man, it's kind of hard because like speaking from like the nostalgia perspective, right? You kind of forget a lot of the trash that was in there, but there was a lot of trash.
Yeah.
From back in those days, but like. So it's weird. So like, you go back and you think about some of like the older media that you didn't watch, right? Because like there's some shows that existed back then that like, that you don't even hear about anymore, right? ironically, there was the Whatever Happened to Robot Jones, right?
Right.
It's such an ironic title because whatever did happen to that show, because it kind
Yeah.
of just stopped. So you think about shows like that, and you're like, okay, it must have not been good. But then you look back on it, and you're like, wait, this is better than I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it's kind of hard to think of like bad show. I mean, there's definitely bad shows, but it's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
okay, but was it bad, or was it bad because I was a kid and it wasn't for me?
Right. Like, you
And
have to think
so
about that.
yeah, we have to think about that because like okay, so like as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
right? As a kid, I was not interested in watching like for example, the Powerpuff Girls,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't interested in watching that as a kid because I was just like, oh, it's a girl show,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm older, I'm like, it's freaking made by Craig McCracken. That guy's a genius, right?
Yeah.
Like the show, and you look back at the show. The show is hilarious. Like it's really darn good. So if I were to think from that perspective, it's kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, yes, because like if you think from that perspective, right, it's kind of hard to think about like what was a bad show. Like what's a bad show that I can think about that was a bad show like that
A lot
that I
of-
would say maybe don't watch.
Well, a lot of people has listed off like what's that one show's like Anaconda something like with the realistic looking faces.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Like I
Mhm.
think it was like Amazing Anaconda. It was like
Something like that.
that looks.
I heard some of
Yeah.
that and like Caillou's a lot that I hear.
Oh my god. Okay, can we talk about Caillou
Yes,
for like
we
5
can.
seconds?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so Caillou. Okay, so I watched Angela Anaconda. There you go.
That's
That's
what
the
it's
show.
called.
So, actually, fun fact about Caillou:
Mhm.
it was heavily disliked,
Yeah.
and I watched some of it. Right?
Uh-huh.
I think he actually got like towards the end of his. Is it still running? I don't think it is. Right? I think
No,
stopped
no,
running.
it's done. It's like gone.
I think okay, so I think the later seasons it started moving to kind of like this more puppet flash animation.
Mm-hmm.
I, and so the animation is cheaper that way. It looks a lot cheaper. I think
Mhm.
it's kind of like do you remember Arthur?
I do, yes.
Okay, so Arthur's later animations is kind of like that.
Okay.
And so Caillou got like really how do I say it? Like, okay, you know how Caillou is a brat
Naturally.
early on?
Yeah.
He's just so he's an awful, disgusting brat, right?
Disgusting!
Like,
I'm sorry!
yeah, he's just
I'm sorry! Just...
his sister,
Rosie.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's evil, right? Evil child,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so so later
Disgusting,
on
I'm
in like the
sorry.
lady so later on he becomes incredibly sanitized to the point where the show is incredibly boring, right? 'Cause, like,
Sanitized,
you
like,
s-
how?
As in, he is the most boring run-of-the-mill character ever. So he's just like
Okay.
he's like yes daddy, I will do everything. I am a good child. I am a good child. I am the perfect child now.
Oh my
And he
god.
lost a lot of his luster. Like, I said disgusting earlier, right? 'Cause he's just like,
The shine from his bald head is dimmed down.
yeah, this kid, this child, right?
Yeah.
This child, right? He was born. By the way, I think he doesn't have any diseases, right? I think he doesn't have any diseases. I think
I was on Google. If you ever looked up why is Caillou bald, it's like it's not because he has any diseases or cancer or anything. It's just because he's a stupid fucking kid. That was
I think if I remember correctly, they made him bald because I think it's because like they said like, oh, sometimes kids can be bald, or like it's like something kind of like casual and normal.
yeah.
And I think Caillou is like, I forget the language, but it's like it's kind of like translated into like pebble,
Pebble.
like like a pebble, like a little rock.
Okay.
So he's kind of like supposed to kind of like represent like a little rock, kind of like how Goombas are kind of like mushrooms, I believe, or no, they're
Okay.
chestnuts. I think
They're chestnuts.
yeah, like chestnuts. I think they're called karibo
I did not know that.
in Japan.
Okay.
So like Caillou, I believe, I forget the language. It could be French, it could be something else. I forget the actual language.
Yeah.
I think he means like little pebble.
I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry, I can't.
the ball, the disgusting child.
Little pebble.
Little pebble.
Yeah.
So basically, they, I guess, like, because even back when disgusting, even back then, when Caillou was like airing early on, people did not like him. Like people like started talking about how terrible he is.
Yeah.
There to this day, there are videos still being made about this show, about Caillou being the worst child in existence, even though the show has not been running for like a long time.
Yeah.
And Caillou has been sanitized like to hell and back. It's so funny.
I've heard like a little bit of like the damage that Caillou was capable of, because I think you remember I had Liberty on here, and they have a kid, right? And apparently in their words they described to me that, like, cause we discussed like how kids are like when we're kids, our brains are like sponges, right? We learn things when we're young, and that's how we grow and develop, right? Because of a show like Caillou, before they like sanitize, like when like presenting to a little child the behavior that being a little annoying shit is okay to like a kid, like they're gonna think that that's okay, and that's what Liberty told me.
Yeah, no, it's awful, because like it's not a good influence on children.
I think when I watched it, I didn't inherit it. I was just like, oh my god, this guy's so fucking annoying.
When I watched it, I was like a little bit older, but this was still like long ago enough to where I was still young,
right?
Because Caillou's pretty old as a show, and so I was still pretty young, but I was not like a child,
right?
I think I was like in my preteens or my teens when I saw the show, and I would visit my grandmother's house, and there was nothing to watch, right? And back then it wasn't like you can get like the internet as easily accessible, or like the signal wasn't as good.
Right.
Nowadays it's easy to kind of get signal and watch YouTube wherever, right? But back then it wasn't so easy, right? And so you kind of had to deal with not having any internet, and so you kind of had to watch whatever you could. And so when I was over there, she didn't have any cable, so we just watched PBS whenever we could. And good to make your age obscure. So basically what happened was that we would just watch PBS whenever we could, and we would watch Caillou would pop up sometimes,
right?
And it was so bad, but it was funny. It was like funny bad, because it was just like, oh my god, look at this annoying child just screaming. Look at him pinch his sister.
Yeah.
I think he pinched his sister, or he bit her. I don't remember what he did.
I just remember,
but it was
like he was like a little shit to her a lot. Like he was like, I hate Rosie.
yeah, like that. He spoke exactly like that.
Yeah.
I hate Rosie.
Rosie is so dumb. Mean. Rosie's so dumb. She's a stupid baby. And then like Caillou's mom was like, Caillou, shut the fuck up. She's like 1.
No, but then the parents for Caillou, they don't punish him. They do, but they don't punish him. They're like, okay, Caillou, go talk to your sister, even though you like assaulted her.
Yeah,
earlier.
You like assaulted her.
Yeah, even though you assaulted her earlier, go speak to your sister.
I'm sorry, Rosie, and like beats her up.
He's like, I'm sorry, and then he doesn't learn anything.
He doesn't learn anything. He just does it again.
He just does it again, like I don't know, like an episode later. I'm sorry, punch.
Just like
such evil. Oh, speaking of, okay, so like to this day, there's still Caillou hate, right?
Yeah.
So like, okay, Caillou hate, I can kind of understand that, right? Because the way he was represented on the show was really bad. There is one hatred. If you were there for that hatred, there's one specific hatred. It's not Caillou related.
Okay.
There is a specific hatred for a beloved children's character, right?
Okay.
That was so hated that it was a trend. It was trendy to hate this character.
Okay.
And it was the most hated character of that era, to the point where dolls of this character were set on fire.
Oh, I feel
multiple.
I feel like I might know who you're talking about.
This is a very, very. If you were there for this, everyone would know this. This was the hatred for Barney the dinosaur.
I was thinking of Elmo, but Barney was my second guess.
No, definitely not Elmo. Elmo's gotten some hate, and he kind of does get hate for like kind of like, quote unquote, ruining Sesame Street because he kind of like took over time.
Elmo's alright. I don't hate Elmo.
I think he's okay, but I think he does kind of take over the screen time.
Yeah.
But so people hate Barney. Back then, like nowadays, it's okay. Nowadays, nobody really does anything, right?
No one bats an eye.
People, no one bats an eye. But if you were there back then, everyone, and I mean everyone, unless you were a child, hating Barney. There was like such a strong vitriol for that character. Why the hate though? I think it's because it was overexposure from kids. I think so. I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of hard to kind of like understand what a mob thinks.
I grew up watching some Barney as a kid. I'm trying to remember. I remember. I don't know if you like watched this when early-ish YouTube was happening. Did you ever watch this video where it's like, SpongeBob kills Barney? It's like MS Paint drawings and like hardcore metal music, and it's like SpongeBob with a poorly drawn gun shooting Barney, and it's like red splitting out. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. That wouldn't surprise me, knowing how YouTube was back then.
Yeah.
It does not surprise me at all. The same reason people hated Teen Titans Go. The shot was the only thing they would show. The show was it was the only thing they would show, and it got old pretty quick. Yeah, there was a lot of hatred for that show.
I didn't know there was so much hatred for Barney. Like, I knew people didn't like him, but it's like I didn't know it was so visceral.
No, it was incredibly like it's. Do you remember? Okay, so you know how there's the Pokemon craze of back then?
Yeah.
Okay, it's about maybe not as big, but pretty sizable to be compared to something like that, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
It was like that like accepted and that well known. Huh. Yeah, even the voice actor for him got like threats.
Wait, what?
It was like, I'm not joking. It was bad. It was like a bad thing that was going on back in those days because people did not like him.
Dude was just doing his job though.
He was. That's the thing is, you know, it's really funny because like, if you look at the show, it's just a harmless children's show.
Yeah.
It's like it's something that you could definitely, even nowadays, right? Like, if you talk to anybody nowadays, right? I don't know if it's still airing. I think it may or may not be. I don't think it is. I'm not entirely sure.
I think Barney's like under like a reproduction now. As if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if he got the McDonald's treatment.
Yeah, I think. Last I remember, I think Barney is like got update. Like Barney got closed now.
Oh, he's got closed now. Oh no, he's going the Chuck E. Cheese route.
Yeah, I think like he got rebooted. I think.
It stopped airing in 2006.
Did it? I could have sworn I've seen like a reboot. Maybe it was like a fan made thing.
Maybe, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, it sounds possible because like a lot of things get kind of rebooted over time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a massive hate for Barney. Like, like if you want to talk about like weird nostalgia, that's kind of one of those things where I remember kind of like what do you call it? The same thing happened with like what's his face, the singer, Michael Jackson, right? He had, like,
that same... like everyone hated him.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that one's a little bit more kind of like up in
Justified?
the air because it. Yeah, because I'm not really sure how any of that is. I just don't want to touch that.
Yeah, me
But
too.
but what do you call it? There is a song. I don't remember the song. I think it was a remix of another song,
Mhm.
but it was something about putting Barney's head in a toilet, and that was like, and I mean like, it was like brutal. It was like a brutal. It was like a brutal song.
Uh-huh.
Um, because again, it was so widely accepted back then. It was
Yeah.
widely accepted that no one liked him, and to the point where even I, as a kid, remember some of that, like, and I was a kid, like I was just like Barney was kind of like my target. I was the target
You
audience
were
for
the
that,
target. You were simply
and
the target.
I was yeah. Even though I never really talked about it, I think I was more interested in Arthur, if anything.
Yeah.
Uh, well, I think I was like, I think when Barney was, yeah, because I mean Barney was airing for a long time before I
Mhm.
was born, I think,
Mhm.
and I think I watched Barney a little bit, and then when Arthur came up, I was more interested in doing that. Jexoy is healing. I didn't really watch him that much though. Though it was, and you know what? Okay, you know what show that I watched when I was a
What?
kid that like I
What
didn't
show?
understand?
Mhm.
It was Teletubbies. I watched
Really?
Teletubbies for a little. I watched it a little bit. It was so surreal to me. I was just like, look at that, like, because like, okay, if there's anything you know about me, it's like my weird connection to surrealness.
Mhm.
And when I was a kid, I would look at the weird, like, empty backgrounds of Teletubbies, and I was like, where's everyone else? Why are these like four creatures in like the middle of like multiple hills, like alone? Made my brain rot. Yeah, I could not stop watching. And there was like no voices. They just like
Mhm.
little grunts and stuff. And so I was just like, what is this show? And I would watch it and I was like, what is this? Why is this poor vacuum cleaner creature
That,
sucking up pink goop?
that just reminds me of the picture I found online when I was with Sen during the
Mm-hmm.
interview with like the Teletubbies standing in the field and they're actually like giant suits.
Wait, can you show me?
Yeah, I get. Hold on. Teletubbies. I mean, like Teletubbies. That's Tubies, not Tubbies. I think I can find it. Hold on. Creepy picture fog. Found it.
My God, we gotta at least some point, since we're talking about nostalgia, we gotta at least some point talk about creepypastas.
Oh,
We need
absolutely.
to talk about that.
I don't want this AI generated BS. I'm trying to find. Hold on. Maybe if I can go in my DMs with Sen. Hold on. I definitely posted.
Oh yeah, you could probably.
I definitely posted it there. The one thing I love about having these interviews is that I can just go back. Found it!
Did you find? Okay, send that to
Yeah,
me. I
yeah.
need to see what this
This
is.
is what they look like!
They're like
They're huge!
beasts. You know, when you look at them in the show, they look like regular sized people. Over here, they look like gargantuan.
No, they're massive. Again, this is the second time I have to bring this picture up to my chat.
You know, it's so funny because like the quality of the image itself makes it feel like you're in like Silent Hill.
Yeah!
It's like dim and misty, and they're just like staring at you in the staring at the camera.
My favorite is Poe in the corner, in the back there.
I know. Just like Slender Man.
Oh no, not Slendy Tubbies!
These Slendy Tubbies.
Do you know about Slendy Tubbies?
I unfortunately do know a little bit about that.
I tried playing Slendy Tubbies when I was a kid, and I got in trouble with my brother because
You could.
because I think my brother was trying to teach me a lesson to not play scary games. He like tried to make me play this one scary game. I don't remember for the life of me because I think I was too scared. I kept covering my face, but it was like it was Slender Man clones. They were everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Honestly.
Oh yeah. I think, you know, funny enough.
Mhm.
When my brother was younger, this is like way back. This is like early internet, right?
Mhm.
I'm talking about like early. Back then, there was a thing called Scary Maze Game,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so my brother played that,
Uh-huh.
and it traumatized him for like a while.
Oh.
It like traumatized him for a while because he had never, I think at that point in his life, he had never gotten jump scared before. And so
Mm-hmm.
the moment it happened, he just could not, like, I think he just didn't trust the computer or something for like a long time. It like it really freaked him out.
Oh my god, that's
Which is
horrible.
so funny. Yeah, this is like early, like before YouTube days.
Right.
But yeah, in terms of there is a core memory. Welcome next.
That's like baby's first like internet jump scare, like that.
It really is,
because that's like a staple in like early internet.
Oh my god, it really was. It was like, I kind of remember it because, like, I mean, you can probably look at it online. And I don't think it's the exact one my brother played. I don't remember.
I think
because I wasn't there for it.
I think it's like just different now, honestly. Distrust of computers, oof.
I mean, obviously he uses PCs now, right? He's fine with it now. But like when he was younger, he was just
horrified.
He did not. He was just horrified. He was like, he did not. I think I saw it. I saw it myself at some point, and I was just like, "This is scary," but I don't get scared as like easily as like most people do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not immune to being afraid, but it's just like, I'm more interested in it than I am like scared of it.
No, yeah, me too.
Yeah, because I love horror. Sounds like someone who believed in Y2K. This was definitely before 2000. This was in the 90s when this happened.
Yeah, because like the internet came out, like really prominently came out like to homes like around like the 90s, wasn't it? 90s or 80s?
Yes. It was like, I think the computer that most people owned back then was a Windows 95.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we had either a 95 or a 99 PC. I think it was 95, but I'm not entirely sure. We actually have it. We actually have that PC still with us in the shed. Yeah, it's still there. I don't think it works anymore, but we still have it there because we didn't want to get rid of it. It's definitely a time relic if you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really, really interesting. But yeah, I remember it being pink for some reason.
It was pink?
Well, like the I remember like when you log in or you go in, it just like the screen was pink. And I think it might be discoloring or something.
That it might be genuinely. Like
I think so too. I remember
I thought you meant like the shell was pink.
No. I meant like when you log in, it's just pink. And I think I remember we changed the mouse to like the dinosaur.
Oh. What was the dinosaur?
Yeah, it was the hue of pink. I don't remember. I think it was like the long-necked one. I think.
Oh! I think I've seen an image of that. Hold on. Wait, let me see. Like.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it.
Pink PC.
Dinosaur
pink
mouse.
Like those cute Apple computers with the variety of colors. It was like actually kind of similar to the pink that I'm sitting on, but like maybe a little bit more like the shine.
Oh, I definitely cannot find that.
Maybe. Well, no. I'm talking about like the way the screen was, because I think we.
I tried to look at like the mouse specifically.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because like
I couldn't find it, but I did find this image, which is making me laugh. Hold on.
You know what that is, right?
Yeah, he's the dad from the dinosaur show.
Do you know how that show ends?
They all die.
Yeah, they all die in nuclear winter.
Yeah.
Or I think it's nuclear winter. I think that's what happens.
Hold on,
which is really funny and very dark.
I'll show them the way
Look at this creature.
Hold on, wait. Oh no.
Peeking.
I can't reach it. There we go. Just
diagonal.
Hold up. Oh my god. I just wanna
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, you can.
I had no idea.
Just this. This looks so upsetting.
Look at that flannel.
Look at that hairline. Or scale line. I know, right?
The scale line.
Yeah. He looks so
Chat,
upset.
would you wear this flannel?
I thought you were gonna say, chat, would you smash?
I mean, he has like what? How many children?
He has like 2. I'm pretty sure.
So I mean, he's got experience.
He's got experience. No, I know everyone would say like smash to like the mom dinosaur.
I have no idea how she looks, and I'm too terrified to think about it.
I can pull her up. Hold on. Wait.
Oh god.
Let me see if I
First question, yes, and for the second, maybe. I don't even know what order the questions were, and I'm too afraid to remember.
Come on. Hold on, Jax. I'm just gonna show you a bunch of pictures of the dad that I keep finding because it's really funny.
It's married with children but with dinos.
Oh, I know. I'm wrong. He has 3 kids.
Oh, isn't that the boss, or is that him?
No, that's still him. He's just wearing a suit. He's
got that eyebrow game.
He's like the whole family. I found like it's a really.
Oh my god, that is the crustiest image I've ever seen, and that is the most 80s characters I've ever seen. That's hilarious.
Hold on. I'm trying to like find like better. I'm really fascinated by the show. I only recently discovered it like because of TikTok, like showing. Here we go. This is like a better image of like the mom.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
I think it's like Jim Henson. I think that's
it is Jim Henson's Creature Shop.
Okay. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, that makes sense because like
chat,
puppeteering.
Chat, would you smash the mom? She's the one with the pink shirt. Would you smash that? Can I just say real quick, like all their faces?
Okay. Okay, so all their faces are very horrifying, but I will say their eyebrow game is really good.
For puppets in like the I believe the 90s, these were very expressive. I have nothing but respect.
Yeah, they're super.
For like the Jim Henson.
Can you show the one with the suit? Because look at those eyebrows on that one. That is so cool.
Yeah, hold on. Let me save. Look at him all dappered up.
Look at those eyebrows.
No, like actually, like again, like they're puppets, and like I think also they're people in suits. Like it's like Big Bird, you know, like
yeah.
Like Big Bird has like there's a human body moving like the arms around, but there's like a mechanic for the other hand to move the face. Like these those
animatronics are. Yeah, like imagine that. So like those animatronics are incredibly ahead of its time. Like Jim Henson's like whole company were doing wonders with puppeteering and all, like puppets and all that
Jim
stuff.
Henson's like Creature Shop. It's amazing.
They're still they did the FNAF movie.
They did. They made the animatronics and like they're still going so hard. Like
that's so good.
Was it Jim Henson's Creature Shop made the Muppets, they made the FNAF Finds a Phrase animatronics. They also made the puppets for the Dark Crystal films, actually.
Oh.
Have you ever watched the Dark Crystal?
I've definitely heard of it, and I think I remember seeing some of it, and I remember it being very impressive.
It's very impressive, but like the very first movie was kind of very confusing.
Excuse me.
Oh, no, you're good. Hold on.
Excuse me. No, I'm burping. That's why.
Oh no, you're still good. Like, hold on. Let me like pull up the Skeksis. That's what they're called. The villains in this. Like, their puppets are. Oh my god. They like what? Oh.
I'm actually okay. So like in terms of like movie trends and stuff like that, right? Because I don't really watch a lot of movies, but I do like the fact that like animation is starting to become a little bit more kind of like a accepted medium, and that like people are more and more willing to see more animated films, which is really nice because back then animation had like a really annoying stigma that it's like, oh, this is just for kids.
Yeah.
Which I disagree with.
Yeah, me too.
I think we need to bring back puppets.
I absolutely agree.
I think we need to bring back puppets, and I think we need to bring back kind of like that old. So like, what are the best like practical effects stuff that people would do back then, aside from like, kind of do a lot of the effect. They would do all the effects works like by hand. Like obviously stuff like lightning or other stuff like that would be done in post, because that's kind of stuff that you can't really do. You can't really just like make lightning. I mean, you can, but you can't really do it in the way like in a controlled environment.
Right.
So aside from stuff like that, I think like the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park were animatronics and stuff like that. Like we need to bring stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
John Carpenter's thing. Yeah, we need to bring stuff with like robotics and things like that. We need to make FNAF real.
Also, Chaos Drive, do you remember the show where people competed to try to work with Jim Henson's? I actually don't know what you're talking about. What show are you referring to? Was it like a competition show?
If so, I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it either. I didn't know there was a competition show either. I really don't think you can compete with Jim Henson. Like
it's kind of hard to.
Like it's perfection almost with a lot of these puppets.
It's really good. It's really good, and no one else is really doing it in the medium.
Mm-mm. Like no one else can like catch up to it basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like you might as well just go work for him. Real FNAF.
Real FNAF.
Kermit would send his goons to beat out any competition. It was called Jim Henson's Creature Shop Challenge. Huh.
Oh, interesting.
I'm gonna actually Google that real quick. Hold on.
Also, Wasteland, I'm insane, and I've actually kept up with FNAF lore.
Oh my god. Did you ever tell, like,
what?
Sen? Did you ever spend time with Sen just like, Sen, do you know about the Creature Shop lore?
Do I know the Creature Shop?
I meant FNAF lore. I'm sorry, I was googling
at
the same
FNAF
time.
Lore?
Yeah.
I don't think I can be there long enough to have. I don't think I can grab Sen's attention for long enough for that.
Aww.
Because I've watched like. Here's the thing. Like when I have there are things that I have hyperfixations on,
mm-hmm.
and FNAF is definitely one of those things that I kind of kept an eye out on.
Yeah.
Since like the OG days, like since
2014
FNAF 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, FNAF 1. I've been keeping track of it. I've been keeping track of that for like the longest time, and it's fascinated me. I'm not the biggest fan of like where it currently is.
Right.
But I'm still kind of keeping up with it.
Right.
Trying to see how where it's gonna go.
Right.
I should have my own FNAF animatronics. Let me go get a let me go get like a
spring lock suit.
What's it called? Yeah, spring lock suit. Let me go get one of those right now. Five Night and Jexoys.
Oh my god. Oh my god, you and Sen are the animatronics. No way. Oh my god.
You need to put one of those Subway Surfer videos when you talk about it.
We gotta get you inside a suit.
Oh yeah, but let's save the creepypasta era stuff for a little bit later because that's gonna be a whole conversation.
Right. All right. Well, since that question's been answered, I'm gonna move on to my next question. My next question for you.
All right, let's go.
So, Jex, what was your everything toy as a child? The toy you carried around everywhere and that you absolutely treasured as a kid?
Okay, this is a very interesting question because in terms of look at those creatures you sent me. That's hilarious. In terms of toys, I didn't have like typical toys. The thing that I would take with me everywhere
mm-hmm.
were my handhelds. That's what I would take with me everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So like, Game Boy Advance, like the Game Boy Advance SP specifically is what I would take.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that I would take with me everywhere. I knew it. Well, it's because like, look, here's the thing. I was born in the right time for video games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. So, but in terms of like normal everyday run of the mill toys, I would probably say that like, I didn't take toys with me everywhere or anything because I didn't really have like too many of them. But I remember I would like play around with a lot of like the little skateboard ones. Those were really fun.
Mm-hmm.
We have your little fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of bootlegs.
There's a lot of bootlegs.
Yes. So there's a question later on. I think there's a question later on in your list.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, wait, is it? Let me just double check, just so I don't get ahead of myself.
Take your time.
Let me make sure that I don't get ahead of myself. Because if not, I'll bring it up right now.
Okay.
Because bootlegs are really funny. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna bring it up now.
Okay.
So flea markets where I'm at
Mm-hmm.
are especially when I was younger, are very, very popular. Right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people go to flea market, and the
As they should.
the best and flea markets are like the number one place where you can find bootleg toys, like movies,
Mm-hmm.
all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I would find, and me being a kid, Dragon Ball was and is still kind of like a lifelong hyperfixation,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's more of a lifestyle now, if
It's a
anything.
lifestyle. Uh-huh.
It's a lifestyle now. So I would find the funniest bootlegs over in flea markets.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, there are still tons of bootleg Dragon Ball figures. Any figure that you would like to see is
Uh-huh.
usually found there. And let me see if I don't know if I know there's a bootleg that I saw recently.
Take your
There's a
time.
bootleg that I saw recently that I need to show you because it cracks me up. I was
Uh-huh.
I was at a I know we're derailing a little bit, but
No, you're so fine.
this is important.
No, it's okay.
So I was at a store. I think it was like a Korean restaurant, not a, no, a Korean like K-pop store or something like that for my sister,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw some bootleg Dragon Ball keychains,
Oh boy.
and they cracked me up so much because of the quality of these bootlegs. It was like their faces were melting into like the plastic that they were carved into.
Oh my god.
I found them, and their eyes are looking in like so many different directions. I don't even know where it's looking.
Okay. Are you gonna send me an image?
So I'm sending it to you right now. Hold on. I saved them. I'm sending it to you right now.
Okay.
You can pop them up on screen. It
I will.
cracked me up. Okay, so it's this one, and the other one I think is downloading still on my phone.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Let me get this out. Hold on.
That one cracks me up so much.
I'm trying to like I'm just staring at this picture of the guy with the suit. Oh, it is massive. Hold on.
It is a big picture.
Let me Here we go.
Neat.
Okay. Bam!
Look at those eyes. Look at those beautiful eyes.
Don't you just wanna
don't-
gaze into them?
Don't you want to gaze into those eyes?
Oh my god.
It's so fun. My corneas.
Who's
Your
this character?
So that is that is Gogeta. That is a fusion between Goku and Vegeta, right?
Okay.
And it looks kinda accurate.
I mean, does he
in-
look
in
like
the-
this in the show?
No, no, not at all. I mean, like if you kind of squint your eyes and you looked at it from like 30 feet away, then maybe, yeah.
Like, oh my god, it's Gogeta.
Yeah, look at it. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him there. Look how strange. Look how strange and scrunkly he looks.
Look how strange and silly he looks.
Yeah. So there's a lot of these kinds of bootlegs out there. Sometimes you could even see Krillin in the background of that
Oh my
picture,
God.
and he looks just as bad.
Hold on, I'm pulling up the other one you sent me.
Oh my god. So the other one, I think the eye is misprinted. You can see like there's
Yeah.
like a mole face. I think that's supposed to be the coloration of his eye.
It looks like he just has a mole.
He looks like he just has a mole. He's got a mole.
He's got a beauty mark.
Yeah, he's got a mark. I don't know if it's necessarily a beauty mark, but it's definitely a mark.
It's not a beautiful one, but it's a mark.
It's definitely a scrunkly little creature.
It's a
I
guy.
like the- It's actually not. It's not a shirt. It's fur.
Yeah, because Goku's like based off like the story of the backstory of Goku or like, Dragon Ball is like based off the Journey of the West with like the Monkey King, right?
Right. Yeah. So this is actually okay. So just real quick, this is Super Saiyan 4 Goku. He's kind of supposed to look more monkey-like in this form. So like the red stuff is like the fur, and that's his kind of like chest right there, the muscles, monkey. But yeah, so Dragon Ball is like it's inspired. It's more inspired. It's not really Journey to the West, because like if you know about Journey to the West and you know about Dragon Ball, like it's usually just like in character names and like a couple little things alone, and then that's it, because Dragon Ball is so weird and wacky. It's definitely, I would say, a recommend watch. There are a couple things that I would say it's like, okay, this was definitely made in the 80s,
right?
But like overall, it's still like a really fun series. And so obviously I have, if we're talking about nostalgia, right, like Dragon Ball is kind of like the thing for me. Like that's kind of like my thing. And so because like I remember back when I was younger, the way I found it is kind of like the way a lot of people found it back in the day, which was through Toonami, which was a block. I don't know if you know about this. I don't know if you were around during this time.
It depends. Tell me about it.
Toonami was kind of like the nexus point for a lot of people's first exposure to anime over here in the West. And so back in the day, people who wanted to watch anime would have to get them. They usually find them in like places. Yeah, Toonami ads were so cool. So back then, people who wanted to watch anime, they would have to get like VHS tapes from like flea markets or a bunch of other these places where, they kind of have to like they had to like know a guy,
right?
They would have to like know like a nerd, and he would have like all this stuff, and like people back then who wanted to watch like older shows, they'd be like, oh, okay, let me get like the synopsis for the show and I'll read it, right? And so when so then there was this anime block in Cartoon Network. It was after Cartoon Network's block ended, usually like towards like the kind of like the afternoon, Toonami would pop up, and I believe Toonami's had a couple like revivals since its initial ending. But the initial run for Toonami was kind of like the most important run for Western anime, or like anime in like Western countries, because Toonami put like anime on the map over here, basically. So a lot of people started watching Dragon Ball. They started watching Sailor Moon. They watched there's like a couple places, other ones that they were watching, but like Sailor Moon was kind of like also pretty big too. And then Cowboy Bebop was a big one. And then a little bit later, Pokemon would come out, and then that would kind of like be the kind of like the final push. The final push that it needed. Yeah, because like Dragon Ball, massive. It was one of the biggest animes, and it still is to this day. But like it was kind of like this thing that introduced anime, like the world of anime, to a lot of people. And then like complemented with Sailor Moon, and then Yu Yu Hakusho was another one. And then when Pokemon came out, you know how big Pokemon was back then. Like,
obviously, yeah.
Yeah, Pokemon was kind of like like for those of you who don't know, Pokemon's kind of like rise to fame is insane, because Pokemon kind of like took over the entire planet for like a while.
Yeah.
You could not get away from Pokemon like at all.
Yeah.
It did, yeah. Like the anime, like if you didn't know the anime opening, who are you, basically?
Yeah. It's like, what rock were you living under?
Yeah, what rock were you living under? Because everyone knew about Pokemon, and I think the Pokemon anime was how I was introduced to Pokemon. I think. I know I played Red and Blue first, and then I played a little bit of Gen 2, and then Gen 3 I owned it. And I have a lot of nostalgia for Gen 3.
Gen 3 has my favorite character, and did you know that?
Oh man, I wonder who that is.
Yeah, you know, his name is Max. He's the leader of Team Magma, you know. I'm gonna try not to talk about him. This is about you, not him.
This is about you, not him. It's a good thing I was into Pokemon, but otherwise you would have been ostracized at school. I mean, it was massive. First intro to Pokemon was a box art for the DS Mystery Dungeon game. I'm actually on a DS kick right now. Funny enough, I was in a Game Boy kick. Now I'm on a DS kick. But you see, I've got the ADHD brain. I'm like, I'm gonna talk about everything. I need to keep focused. But yeah, Pokemon was like massive, and Pokemon was kind of like the final. I mean, you could say that Dragon Ball was the push, like enough, right? It was like enough to get everybody to start watching anime. But Pokemon was so massive, you couldn't escape it.
Right.
And so, I think it was Pokemon on Kids WB back then, and then the same broadcast. Eventually, it turned into 4Kids, right?
Right.
But I think it was Pokemon, and at the same time as Pokemon, around that same time, Yu-Gi-Oh was airing.
Okay.
And Yu-Gi-Oh was another big one as well.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh was like another big one. To this day, my dad watches those reruns. My dad loves those reruns. I still love those reruns because even though they're like not accurate in terms of their translation, they're so freaking funny that it cracks me up. Like Seto Kaiba is like the best character ever. It cracks me up. I summon Skull. But yeah, and obviously I know how much of a big fan of Pokemon you are.
I am, yes.
You may or may not like Pokemon.
Just maybe. Maybe.
Just maybe.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit of Pokemon.
Like it's not like it's my life as I look over at some of my many shelves or my many things that has Pokemon in it, or you know, my literal mascot being fucking a rejected Pokemon. You know,
yeah, the Kurusu. Yeah.
Yeah, the Kurusu. Like no.
Did you ever play the prototype version of that? By the way,
I actually never did. No.
I think you can definitely quote unquote get access to that.
Am I able to?
I can probably. Yes, you are. You definitely are able to get access to that and be able to play that.
I mean, like, oh my god, me as my own starter.
You can definitely have. I know that there's definitely mods. I mean, there's like a bunch of mods available for Pokemon, but I know there's probably a mod out there. You can have a Kurusu as like.
Most definitely. I would love to have my character be like the starter, where I should have been there, not Toad.
It should have been me.
It should have been me, not him. It's not fair.
It's so funny. I mean, I can talk all day about like Pokemon development and like the lore and all that stuff. But obviously, that would be 3 tangents, and I'd rather not go too many tangents.
That's its own tangent of its own.
That's its own tangent. That's definitely its own tangent of its own. Like, there is so much interesting stuff for Pokemon. I have gone into so much like research into like Gen 1 specifically has like some of the most interesting history to it because we know so much. We know so much about Gen 1's creation. Like not everything, but we know so much down to like the fact that like there's so many like unused Pokemon still left out. Like there's like scrambled data. Like people have like freaking like cross-examined which Pokemon go where. And we all know that Rhydon was first.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that Rhydon was the first Pokemon ever made. And I believe it's based off of like Godzilla in that like there's like an early it's called data mined. Well, it's like more than data. It's like more than data mined. It's like we people have gotten to like early like magazines. We have like kind of like prototypes and stuff like that. It's crazy how much Pokemon lore we know. But anyways, enough about the Pokemon lore. I can go all day.
Look, I love Pokemon. This is a safe zone with Pokemon, all right?
That's true. That is true. That is true.
But we can't go into the next question if you want.
Yeah. Let's go to the next question. I think we can go through the questions and then like over time we'll start discussing some of our weird hyperfixations, because I see that hyperfixation question coming up pretty soon.
It's bleeding out. It's like
it's coming in pretty darn soon.
All right, so my next question for you, Jex, is what was something you always wanted as a child? You never got it, but being an adult, you're able to get it now.
Okay, so this is an interesting question because I think this is kind of like been answered, kinda. I'm not gonna go too into depth into it, but let's just say there are cartridges that can play more than one video game in your system, and that was something that I saw as a kid, and I was like, I want more of these games, right? I want more of them because I only had a select few. What video games I knew again? Look, Wasteland. That was my childhood. It was art games. That was my childhood, and very other weird experiences. But recently, and I'm talking about like 2-3 days ago.
Right.
2-3 days ago, one of those wishes was fulfilled.
What was it?
Let's just say I can play some of those Pokemon games on my DS now.
Oh, that's so cool! Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so now I can play the ones that I missed because I stopped at Gen 3. So I have, and to be fair, I'm doing the randomizer with Sen. So I'm experiencing Gen 4 for like the first time kind of through there.
Oh, that's awesome.
So now I have access to Platinum, Pokemon Platinum. And so I want to, that's kind of another one of those things where like I want to experience certain things I never got to experience before.
Right.
Because I didn't have access to those. I didn't have access to a lot of those things. I mean, I could have gone the other way, right? And I have done that many times, but nothing beats playing on your own system.
Right.
And so I'm kind of like, oh man, I'm experiencing these Pokemon. It's Pokemon is kind of like that like early childhood thing, where it's like, oh man, it's such a fun experience. And so when I was playing it again on Sen's stream, I felt like a kid again. I was just like, oh my god, I freaking love this series. And now that I have that thing, I can, like, once we're done with that randomizer, I kind of want to, maybe on my own or maybe even on stream. I can't stream that version. I can't stream off my DS, but maybe one of these days I'll stream playing Pokemon because I freaking love that series. And so, it's not just that. It's kind of like another thing another one of those things where I wanted to do when I was younger that I can probably do more now.
Right.
Is do animation stuff. Which is something that I've been. If anybody knows about my passions, it's definitely animation, and animation is kind of one thing that like I didn't think anywhere in the world that I was able to like do. And I remember trying like a lot to try to do animation, and it always felt like it was like just too far away to reach. It's like I couldn't do it. And nowadays, it's a little bit easier for me to do now. I'm still kind of like in this period where like I want to switch like programs.
Right.
Like I want to switch to I think Clip Studio at some point for its animation capabilities. So that way I can improve my animation even more, because I think the one thing that's holding me back is the fact that I don't have proper programs But even with the way that I'm doing it now, it's way more than I would have than I thought I was going to be able to do back then.
Right.
Which again, something I wanted to do as a kid, but I can do now because I have access to so much more stuff. Because like back then, when I was younger, the only like real way you can do animation were a couple like approaches.
Right.
And if you wanted to get a tablet, like a drawing tablet on your computer, if your computer could even run it, was like it was like expensive, crazy expensive to get one of those. And you would even have to get like a program, and there was like not that many animation software that were like available to the public back then. So like if you really wanted to do animation back then, you had to do it the old-fashioned way, and you had to do it with paper.
The old-fashioned way.
And I've tried. I did do that. I've done a couple times animation on paper, and oh boy, it's not easy. It is not easy doing it on paper.
It's not?
No, it is not, because I mean, think of it this way. The best way, one of the best things that I would say digital animation has like helped us with is onion skin. Onion skin is the best thing they've ever made for animation programs. Because the way you would do it back then is you would have to constantly flip your paper, and they would develop how you would have to flip your paper back and forth, which isn't hard.
It's just tedious
when you're dealing with two images. You have to like, if you have like multiple images and you have to see how your pencil animation is going to go, you have to like there's a technique that they developed. There's a technique that they developed with their hands to kind of like the way they did it. Yeah. So that like it'd be a little bit easier, but you had to like physically do it. You know what I mean? And with onion skin, it's just so much easier because it's just like, oh, it's just turn this off or turn this on. The layer's in a different color, so you can keep. It's so much easier now. So like animation, I would say, if it wasn't gaming, it would say animation is kind of like the number one thing that having the ability to do something that I wasn't able to as a kid. I would say as an answer to your question, it's just, yeah, animation was not as easy back then as it is now. It's still hard, obviously, because animation is a difficult thing.
Right.
But oh my god, technology can be so cool sometimes.
Yeah.
So I definitely one day I'll get like I want to get to Clip Studio Paint because I think it's like the most public program, and even though it has a subscription, I think there's like, I know that you could just like not do the subscription, you just keep that version and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, and no, I'm not. I don't want Adobe Animate. I don't want to support Adobe.
No one
does. Those people are getting, they're getting sued for a reason. Fun fact. I remember that I was watching a video about people who were using Adobe products. Like I'm still keeping it on the animation because they were working on an animation product, right? Every single person who was working on an Adobe product had, in one way or another, a technical issue.
Right.
Like they were working on an animation, the files got corrupted. They had to like restart certain things, or like the program would just not work. It wouldn't render. There was just a lot of issues with that. So it's just like, oh man, it's a good thing I don't want that program.
Yeah.
So nobody, even though Adobe Animate is kind of like Flash, it's not Flash anymore, chat. It's not Flash anymore. Go get something better like Toon Boom or Clip Studio Paint.
Toon Boom or Clip Studio.
The only reason why I would say it's better to get Clip Studio for me is because like, okay, so like there's kind of like a little bit of a disconnect when you're working on an animation program versus working on an art program.
Right.
Because an art program is kind of like, it's kind of like your comfort thing, right? Like you've been using your art program for so long, right? Like why would you want to switch programs to just do a different thing, right? Like if you can do animation on that same program, and you have access to all the same tools that you had um, for your art, right? Just
Right.
why wouldn't you just do it there? It's just like kind of like a 2-in-1 thing, right? Like if you could draw, like if you can do like how you draw Tim and everything, right? Like if you can
Yeah.
just animate Tim and everything on the same program. I'm assuming you use something else. I don't know if you're
No,
using.
I always use Fire Alpaca.
Okay, but that's a good thing though, because now you keep it all in the same spot. So that's what I like. Just kind of like, oh, we keep it all in the same spot. Nothing changes when you're changing program, right? It's just kind of like the way that you decide to change the way things pop up and everything. I think that's the most important part. So yeah.
So I was gonna say, literally the thing that you want as a kid was just the power of animation.
Well, I would say yes, the power, the ability, like the power to do it, and also the skills to do it, because it's something that like, okay, so like I would say, in terms of wanted, is I wanted the program to do it, but I also wanted the skills to do it.
Right. No, that's
right,
fair.
because like the grind for animation is, or like the grind in general for art is like everlasting, right? It's like something that's you're just gonna keep doing for the rest of your life. We're all grinding forever.
We're all
in
grinding
terms of art.
forever.
Yeah, we're all grinding forever for our art. And what do you call it? And so at some point you're going to be doing something that you never were able to do before. And at that point you're going to be like, for me it clicks at some point. Like animation clicked for me at some point. Like like at some point it was like impossible in my mind, and then one day it just kind of it did it. Like I was able to do it. Like I would always consider that point to be where one of my friends challenged me to do an animation, like a full finished animation. And she said, I'm going to do it at the same time. We'll both do it. We're both going to try doing the animation. And I did it. And going through that entire process, it clicked. I was like, wait a minute. It's not that bad. I kind of get it.
It's not that bad.
And yeah, and so like I still have problems, right? Like it's not easy, right? I still have my issues, and I still try to go as much as I can, but like it's not as daunting as it used to be. It's not as unapproachable,
right?
As I once thought. And so like, as a kid, I thought it was impossible, and it's something that I really, really wanted. And now I can kind of do it.
No, that's amazing. Honestly, Jex, your animation skills. I really love all the animations you post, genuinely. From like the smallest like lip syncing, or like from your silly emotes.
Yeah, the emotes are really fun. I haven't done anything like super crazy animation wise in a little bit, but in terms of like emotes, those have been like really, really fun to make.
Is there,
because it's like,
oh, I was
go ahead.
gonna ask a question. Is there anything that you want to make with your animation?
Yes. Something more concrete and something more completed. Like, I wouldn't say I want to make like a whole series, but I want to make like more finished animations that like you can look at it and be like, man, that could be a series. Or like more like think of, so I'm gonna mention a friend of mine who is also a streamer. She did not do animation when I first met her, but now she's doing animations all the time, right? And when she started doing animations, she has cool intros and outros and stuff like that for her streams. And I'm like, okay, that's really cool. Like, I want to do something like that. I want to have like intros and outros for streams, like have fun little events that I can do, like animate and stuff like that. And there is another friend that I met not too long ago, and she also does kind of like what I do in terms of my my character, my PNG, kind of like in stream.
Yeah.
But they completed it, right? Like it's like they have like custom animations at play and all that stuff, and it makes it look a lot more lively as a stream. And so stuff like that is stuff that I want to keep going towards, where it's just like I want to make something like fun and interactive and all that stuff. That was a lightning bolt. And it's okay. But what do you call it? So I wouldn't say like, oh, make a show, but it'd be like if I made my stream into kind of a show. That's kind of what I'm thinking about, where it's kind of like, oh, my stream has an intro, it has an outro, it has like we'll be right back,
right?
BRB screens.
No, yeah, really make your like whole stream stuff very lively-esque.
Yeah, very lively. Make it kind of like an interactable cartoon. I would say cartoon, anime, or anything like that. So something like that. The two people, I don't mind saying who they are, right? Because they're good friends. So one of them is Spelly Does Art, and she's the one who started doing animation recently, and she's the one who has like the intros and outros and everything,
right?
Which are so freaking cool, right? You can see her progress over time, and I want to do something like that, like have
to her channel.
Yeah, yes, of course. Yes, I would absolutely send you a link. Spelly is a longtime streamer friend. But Spelly has been doing really good in terms of art and animation, and it's kind of one of the bigger reasons why I want to move to doing stuff on Clip Studio, because she works on Clip Studio. She does all her animations on Clip Studio. Oh, here's an animation reel. Hold on. You don't have to put it up on screen, but this is just an animation reel. I would
just love to see like some of her work.
Yeah. I'll show it to you. So this is Spelly. Spelly's
I think I've seen the.
Oh, somebody says.
Oh.
Tim, can you please keep me from your server? My name is Endo Mello, and I got hacked.
Oh, so Okay.
Apparently, somebody got hacked.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. If you want me to entertain chat, I will.
I'm trying to find the. Let's see your server. My name is. No, don't apologize, Fuzzy. You're fine. Thank you for telling me, though.
It's totally. Yeah. It's good to warn, just in case.
I see you.
So yeah. So Spelly does animation. And then the other person who I've been looking at more for like, because like I started trying to do the like trying to make streams where like my character's a lot more animated,
right? And
at the same time, this other streamer was doing it too, and she was doing it really, really well to the point where she actually completed it. And if you want to see what I want to make my streams look like eventually, when I put more, when I actually figure out how to do everything,
right?
Check out. I think it's Oceanex.
Oceanex. Okay.
Yeah. She does she does like art streams and stuff like that. Let's see, Oceanex. I'm just gonna type it.
Also,
let me actually give you the. Let me give you the link to that one as well. Because I think because you're an artist as well, and I want you to kind of like see other inspirations.
No, I appreciate
because
it.
Because I think one of the best things about art is that we can talk about it and we can share with each other and we can help each other grow.
Tell each other the secrets.
And we can tell each other the secrets. We can help each other grow. And because I know that you're also like really good into art and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you can see it right on the screen.
Yeah.
Right? And so obviously I want to help foster that improvement in animation and in art itself. And so I want you to grow and do your best.
I think I've seen like some posts on Twitter or TikTok about like how they're their whole style is like very old school anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen.
It's really cool.
I've seen some of their stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah. And so they, I think she came into my stream, because we were thinking about doing the same thing, except I'm a little bit more behind on that. Haven't done like the full transition yet into like doing the animated, like completely animated character.
Right.
She has like a whole intro and everything too. So again, I'm going in a tangent talking about art, but like art is definitely one of those passions. Art is a childhood passion and is a continuous passion of mine, where I think it's important to, like, especially as artists, like, obviously you're gonna have more artists, people over here in this podcast, and that's great, right? Because we need to have more. We need more artists in this world, right?
I hope to encounter more. It's always I'm always happy just to like go out and try to find or talk to like my friends in general with this podcast.
Yeah. So I want to be at least one of the first ones to help you, encourage you to on your art journey as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Jax. I really do appreciate it. Like, your support is always like means the world.
I try.
How long have we known each other? I think like
3 years.
3 years.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like animation, right? It's it's not just my passion. It's the passion of everybody else as well. Like everybody else has a passion for art and animation. So spread that knowledge. Make sure that people understand. Who does really good and who doesn't really good, and what we can learn from other people in terms of like our own skills and everything. So we can definitely learn. We can definitely learn from a lot.
I really like this answer. Like I like this answer. It's unique. It's more than just a toy almost, and I like that a lot.
Well, yeah, because like it's because like art is like it's not just like a hyperfixation. It's not just like a because like obviously hyperfixation is going to be something related to art, right? Like if I'm going to talk about hyperfixation, it's going to be like Dragon Ball. Like that's going to be like my childhood hyperfixation, and it still is, right? Like that's something that's just been with me since I was a kid to now, right? And that's your next question, obviously, right?
Yes.
And so I'm gonna smoothly transition.
Actually, no, you're wrong. Actually, no, you didn't.
Oh wait,
you skipped a question.
Oh, did I? Well, I'm gonna slightly go back and backpedal a little bit. But we're gonna talk about my favorite. What was it? Your favorite place?
Yeah. Let me.
As you could.
What was your favorite?
Okay, so. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. It's just so funny. It's like, oh, you're so smoothly transitioning into. Oh no, you're not. Never mind.
I'm gonna smoothly backpedal and smoothly transition.
Just play some smooth jazz as you're backpedaling.
Yeah. So something that I missed.
Yeah. So what was your favorite thing or place as a kid that's just completely gone now to the modern age?
Oh my god, it's okay. So that's hard. Because there's a lot of things that don't exist anymore, or things that exist in different ways than they do. So if I could say something that doesn't exist, it's probably kind of like the culture of things that were back then. But that's not the answer I'm saying, but it's kind of like one of those kind of like
generalization.
It's kind of like a generalization of what I think of, like when I think of like a thing from back then, like something that's completely gone. Like I could say like the early internet is gone, and like it's even though we still have the internet now, it's not the same as it was back then,
right?
And so it's stuff like that. But I think the one thing I can say that could relate to a lot of other people, the one thing I could say that can return for a lot of people is the magic and wonder of old fast food restaurants.
Oh yeah.
So back then when we were all younger, right? And it wasn't. I wouldn't say. I would say it's because of like the modernization of a lot of like buildings and stuff like that. So like fast food restaurants like McDonald's or like Dairy Queen or Burger King, all these other places they had like I mean they still have kids meals, but kids meals back then were way different than they are now. And now and back then you would have like like a little slide. You would have like a little like, kind of like a jungle gym as you were as a kid.
Right.
And when I was younger, going to McDonald's was not only a fun place to go to because of the food. It was a fun place to go to because there was places to go, like little places to kind of like crawl around to, like little tubes.
Yeah.
And I distinctly remember, I think it might have been a Burger King for this one specifically, but I distinctly remember there was a dining area, and then there was a playground area for the kids. All right, and this one was inside. This is not outdoors, like I think some of the McDonald's ones were. This one was strictly indoors, but it looked massive. Like the Burger King was like really big, right? And it was like a completely sectioned off area as well. You would actually have to go in through like a separate room. It was like a door, right? But it was glass, so you can kind of see through. And so like my parents would kind of like sit on the tables, and then me, my brother, and my sister, we would kind of like go and play around in like the tubes, or like kind of like run around doing all that stuff. And that was just a lot of fun. Like you don't see that nowadays anymore. There's no fun in these restaurants. It's all just purely like get the food and get out.
Get food and now leave.
There's no reason to eat inside the store anymore, aside from the fact that you want it fresh. So there's no reason to get in there. But back then, oh man, there was plenty of reasons to do it. It was, you go there, you dance, you dance in those tubes, you're messing around, or you get to enjoy kind of like the scenery of the place because the themes were nice. Like Greg said, like old like 90s Taco Bell, that was really cool. I remember there being a chili.
I remember like McDonald's play places that are just completely demolished now.
A lot of the McDonald's. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
A lot of the McDonald's that are like I have not seen a classic McDonald's design in years. Like every McDonald's that we have is just like the static square building, which looks nice. I'm not going to say it doesn't look nice, right? Because I do kind of like the way it looks, but it kind of loses that flair and pizzazz that the old one had.
Yeah.
It's just no longer there, and so yeah, like it's one of those like things where it still exists. Like McDonald's is still there. It's not going to go away anytime soon. I'm going to say like 100 years from now, when we're all ancient shriveling creatures.
Ancient shriveling creatures, yeah.
Yeah, McDonald's is still going to be up and kicking. Probably, giving more expensive burgers or something. They're going to give like $10 Happy Meals or something. I'm not entirely sure.
$10 Happy Meals. Oh my god.
Do McDonald's buildings even have red in them nowadays? I don't think so.
No,
now,
they
I
don't.
will say I do enjoy certain conveniences, like I do like the little booth that not the booth. It's like a little
like a touch screen.
Yeah, the touch screen. I do like that.
Yeah, like you just order it there. You don't have to talk to the front counter.
Yeah, the kiosk.
The kiosk.
I like the kiosk a lot because that means they don't mess up my order.
I mean, they still can.
They still can, but the problem is that like those speakers that they have, you can't really hear from them that well. I believe my brother, who works in a McDonald's, he tells me that it's not the easiest thing to hear through.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh. Is it easy to hear through those headphones at McDonald's? Do you hear people well?
He's literally asking.
He says he kind of like he's like more or less you can't really hear that well. So yeah, like when you're on a kiosk, right? It's just like you're basically typing it down. You're writing it down. You're like, this is what I want.
Right.
I want this. I want no pickles on my burger. No onions, no pickles on my burger.
Nope, no onions, no pickles, no burger.
No burger. Give me just give me your fries.
I was just gonna say, just give me the meat.
Give me the meat. Give me the meat. Just give it to me right now.
Just give me the meat. That's all I want.
Give me your ice cream too. I want your ice cream machine so I can fix it myself.
Oh, the broken ice cream machine. No, yeah, like
yeah,
classic,
the broken ice machine.
The classic style, like almost toony vibes of like classic like fast food places are just like they're dead. I'll never see anything cool again.
Some fast food restaurants just stopped giving like Happy Meals altogether. Like children's meals, they stopped doing it altogether.
It just started to become like, I guess, like expensive to keep up with, I guess. So it's just best it's like yeah, like it sold a lot, but it was also, I guess, it was expensive, so they had to be normal.
Yeah, and that's a shame because it loses a lot of like the kind of like the drive, or kind of like the charm of these older places. Like it's still corporate stuff, but like at least it was fun.
Yeah, at least you would want to go there. Now you're just like, oh, I'll just like Uber it. Oh, Uber Eats it.
Yeah, Uber Eats it, or if you want. That's the thing. The only reason why you want to eat inside the restaurant is because you're already out for travel. Yeah, if you like nowadays, the only reason why you want to go eat at the fast food place is if you're like traveling and you can't you're like away from home, so you have to eat there, or you want the food fresh, because fast food, believe it or not, does not stay fresh throughout the ride, and it gets cold really quick. And if you have ever eaten McDonald's fries when they're anywhere like a minute colder than they should be, you are not eating fries anymore. You are eating cardboard.
It's like it's almost so weird how like they just change so drastically if they're cold. It's sad, and then you have to reheat them. And it's like soggy, and it's not the same anymore.
It's so bad. You might as well just cook more fries at home if you're just gonna eat
with your
those.
air fryer.
I mean, yeah, with your air fryer. Which, by the way, I've been using an air fryer recently, and it's so good.
I don't have one.
Oh my god, you should definitely get one.
I'll probably just put one on my throne. I think I was told to put an air fryer on my throne recently.
I think you should, because an air fryer, oh my god, it does so much stuff. Like, you can cook chicken in that thing, and it's so good.
Oh, no.
As long as you know how to prep it. Like if you know how to prep it and everything, oh my god, it's so good. It's a glorified oven, but it's 1,000% worth it. That is true, because you can cook things in like seconds. Not seconds, but you can do it in minutes.
I'll probably
it's very worth it.
I gotta put like on my Throne account. I'm gonna put like air fryer.
Air fryer. There you go.
Get me an air fryer.
Very, very worth it. But yeah, like in terms of like, and even aside from just like the location itself that looked different, I would say even the culture around these like fast food places was different. Like you can say, when was the last time you've ever seen Ronald McDonald representing McDonald's?
Like he's not there. It's just the M.
He's not there. Yeah, it's just the M. And I know there's a reason why he's like officially not retired, but he's kind of quote unquote been promoted into a higher position.
So who's advertising then? Like who's out at the front advertising? The Hamburglar? Grimace? I guess Grimace.
Probably, but you know what happened with Grimace last time.
He killed so many people.
Actually, so I was hearing funny theories about like why there was the Grimace shake and all that stuff. It's because like McDonald's, I think McDonald's is having is trying to enter the Starbucks kind of.
Oh,
no, it's trying to enter like it's trying to enter the Starbucks kind of like
realm territory.
Yeah, the Starbucks territory, the Starbucks kind of like what do you call it? Audience, and it's trying to
drink.
Yeah, with like the drink audience, right? And so the Grimace shake was kind of like there's a theory where it kind of like it's kind of like the experimentation with one of their like lesser known mascots. I mean, Grimace is well known, but it's not like Ronald McDonald's well known, and they haven't used Grimace in years. And so they were like, "Oh, let's make a Grimace thing," and
let's make a Grimace thing.
And it ended up being super popular because of the marketing and because of all the TikTok memes. And so they decided, instead of using Grimace, they decided to use a new mascot. And I forget the name of the actual new restaurant, but they now have like a space themed restaurant with its own like
I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what it's called. I know what you're talking about.
It's like an obscure it's an obscure mascot from like one of the older Ronald McDonald's.
Yeah,
kind of
like I think not Mr. Moon. I don't think it was Mr. Moon. It was like something else.
No,
yeah.
It's definitely not Mr. Moon, because Mr. Moon was kind of like they had to stop using that character because back in the early internet days, certain bad people got in control of that character, and it became like a very toxic meme.
Wait, really? I actually didn't know about that.
Yeah, so the Moon character started being used for like, this was back in the early internet days, right? I believe, and they started using him for like horrible things, like I'm talking about like really not good things to say on this stream.
Oh my god!
And so it got really out of hand, and so McDonald's was like, "Yeah, no, we're not using this character anymore." They did kind of like bring him back every once in a while, kind of like as a cameo thing, and I believe you can kind of still see him in certain places.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like they had to stop doing it was called like Mac Tonight.
Mac Tonight. That's like the song he would sing. I remember.
Yeah.
I don't know much about like the Moon guy that much, besides like one horror game. That's like Five Nights at Freddy's with him. That's all I know about him.
Mm-hmm. There's a Vaporwave song that I've heard with Mac Tonight, and it's really, really good, and I love hearing that one. It makes me nostalgic. I think Mac Tonight was either before my time or I was too young to know it, because like it would Mac Tonight would that commercial would air really late. I remember having a McDonald's NASCAR toy with Mac Tonight on it. Yeah, it was really, really late in the day, in the night. So it was kind of like one of those, like, I was too young and I didn't see a lot when I was a kid. I would fall asleep at a certain time.
Right.
So I wouldn't see that. But yeah, they don't use the Moon Man anymore because it became kind of because it became like a very not good
controversial character.
Very controversial character, controversial meme.
Damn.
It's crazy. And Wasteland just sent me a DM with a picture of the Mac Tonight.
Oh my god.
Mascot, you want me to send it to you so you can see it?
Yeah, I would love to see it.
It's a little crusty, but let me go ahead and show it to you so you can see it.
Take your time.
So you can don't worry, I already got it. Let me go ahead and paste over here.
Let me see.
Yeah. So that's the Moon Man.
That's the Moon Man.
That's the Mac Tonight. It's such a good aesthetic too. I really like the aesthetic because like you can see him like in a cityscape.
That was a jump scare. Sorry.
That was a jump scare. You can see him like in a cityscape on the piano playing, and it's like nighttime, and it was really cool.
It was really jazzy. I remember that.
It was so good. It's such a shame because that would have been that definitely should have been something they kept, because oh my god, it's such a nice vibe to it. But it's a shame. But yeah, in terms of like things that are gone, there's so much from like older restaurant things that are just like they're just like I guess sterilized.
Yeah, I like that they keep saying sterilized a lot. By the way, it's just funny.
Yeah, they're sterilized. It's just don't touch me, I'm sterile.
Don't touch me, I'm sterile. It's just really funny to hear you say that.
But yeah, SpongeBob is definitely one of those shows that I watched a lot as a kid. Don't touch me, I'm sterile.
Don't touch me, I'm sterile.
My boy was a piano player. I tried playing the piano. I tried playing piano at one point, and then I was just like, why am I button mashing this thing? I don't know how to piano.
You're button mashing piano?
I was button mashing pianos. I didn't know how to do it.
Oh my god. Oh. I do. I just miss like the whimsy and whimsicalness of like fast food places.
It was so different.
It's just gone. It's dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's no more.
It's such a shame
Sad.
because it was so. It's so funny because like sometimes you can say, like, oh man, things were different in our childhood because, um, because like, oh, we have rose tinted glasses, but no, things were really different back then. It's like it's not even just like, oh, rose tinted glasses. It's like a fact that things were so different back then, and like charm was
Hmm.
taken away because like they decided, hey, let's just go with this instead of appealing to the masses.
Oh. Oh, wait, so thank you for 50 minutes. This is a great stream. Aw, thank you. Aw.
Thank you, Wasteland. Also, Greg sent me his toy, or the toy that he saw, and I think this is interesting because of the way the design looked.
Oh, you want
And
to
this
send it
is
to
also
me?
related. Yeah, I sent it to you already. Look at
Oh,
this. Look at this. Like this cool design, by the way.
oh, wow.
Isn't that cool?
That is a really cool, that's a cool car right there. Hold on.
And that's awesome.
Ah!
What is that?
It's the car I was gonna pull up on stream. Just to share the views with the picture. Oh my god, the picture's fucking huge.
I love the corner of the darkness.
The corner of, it's a fucking huge ass picture, oh my god. I'm trying.
Desk jump
I'm
scare.
trying. Oh my god, there it
Okay,
is.
we can see the car. There it is.
There we go. There's just a giant corner of the desk. Oh my god, but that's a
was
cool looking
massive.
car. That's a nice looking car.
Yeah, it's really cool. But that was like, that was a toy back then. Look at all the like. Again, it's still corporate McDonald's, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's still like style and things today. You know what I mean? It's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
And so that this is the kind of stuff that I miss.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you would look at things back in the day, it's like, ah, man, remember when things were cool?
Mm-hmm. Remember when things were
You might have
like,
had this
cool?
as Jexoy. I know. I mean, we still had crappy things, right? Like we still had that Pokemon toy,
Well, which one?
the one that suffocated children.
Oh, well, that was all the toys then, because it was all the Pokeballs.
Well, actually, it was one child.
Well,
It was one child that suffocated. It wasn't like multiple children. It was just one child.
yeah.
That it was a baby. I mean, it acted like a suction cup.
Yeah, that's
basically.
that's what Sen said.
Yeah, it acted like a suction cup, and then the baby couldn't breathe anymore. But what do you call it? Which is like incredibly sad.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you call it? And they had to do a massive recall. You can still find
The toys.
those original. Yeah, you can still find them to this day. Like they're online.
Mm-hmm.
They're like dirt cheap too. They're like
Like
they're $20 or maybe 15.
They're under. If you're buying just one, it's always under $10. But if you're buying like a whole bunch,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a little bit more.
Yeah, it's an interesting novelty, I would say.
Mhm.
I mean, but excuse me. The what do you call it? Like that was part of the thing back then. Like back then, it would be like, oh, there's like an incredibly popular toy thing. Let's go ahead and capitalize on that. And then kids would be, even though that was kind of like a hazard, but
Yeah.
most of the toys weren't hazardous at all.
Like what
for the
toy
most part.
wasn't a hazard, you know?
Yeah, like the one thing I can think about, like, oh, what was the last thing I remember that was like a really popular toy that was at McDonald's?
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I can think of was back when they had the Pokemon cards at
Yeah.
McDonald's and people would collect them.
I remember that
Excuse me.
too. No, you're good.
And how long has it? No, it's not too long ago.
Oh, you're good.
But at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, how long ago was that? It's been
a hot.
You know what I mean?
minute.
Like it's been a while since you had heard anything about like McDonald's toys, and I don't even know if they
don't.
give McDonald's toys.
No, I mean they do, but they don't. If that makes sense. Like
Right.
They're bad.
yeah, and so nowadays, like as a kid, like you can't even get McDonald's toys anymore, which is like
Mm-mm.
such a shame because like that was kind of like another one of those things that I mean I'm an adult right now, so I don't want don't necessarily need like McDonald's toys, but like for the kids out there, you know what I mean? It was kind of like one of
It's like
those.
nice. It's like nice to have.
It's a nice little thing to have, and even then, it was like imagine being a kid.
Mm.
Imagine being a little kid, and you didn't have access to too many toys.
Mm-mm.
But then one day you go to McDonald's because your
Mm.
family was like, hey, let's go eat at McDonald's, and maybe your family chose to get at McDonald's because it was all they could afford.
Mm-hmm.
But you go to the McDonald's, right, and you see that toy that's right there. It might not have been the best toy, but that was your toy that you
That
had.
was your toy.
That was your toy that you had over there,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like, you know, that was everything to you as a kid. You know what I mean? Like, it could even at one point it could be like a toy of something that you did like.
Mm-hmm.
It could be like a toy of something that you did like, and then you were like, oh my god, it's super exciting. Like, kids don't get to experience that, and I
Mm.
understand it's more for like a financial reason or something
Yeah.
nowadays, right?
Like their toys are a
It's
lot
just not
cheaper
viable.
now.
Yeah, it's just not as viable,
No.
especially now.
Yeah.
But that magic is taken away, especially from that one kid who probably could have really used that toy. Maybe as kind of like a maybe things are not as good as maybe things are not as good at home. That toy could
Mhm.
make that toy can make a difference to them.
Mhm.
So I think it's kind of a shame that things are different now for that.
Yeah. I miss it. I would buy toys to this day. I would. Advertise for me. Do it for me, McDonald's.
Do it for me, McDonald's.
Do it for me. Because I would like
So-
that.
So yeah, so yeah, and to answer your question, it would be that would be your that would be your answer.
Good answer. That's a good answer. Okay, now we can go. Now we can shimmy on
now,
into
now we're gonna shimmy on into the hyperfixation.
Yes. What was your
so-
child fixation? And has that fixation left, still linger, 100% still part of your everyday life?
I think it's kind of obvious. The answer to this question.
Mm.
I think it's incredibly obvious. Dragon Ball has been part of my life
Mm-hmm.
forever,
Mm-hmm.
and it will continue to be so, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just the thing that inspired me the most,
Mhm.
right? Like my art style was always kind of like an inspired by Dragon Ball and a bunch of other things, right? But
Mhm.
it's just one of those things that I can never shake off, and I'm not gonna be I won't be ashamed, and I won't be I'm gonna be proud that I like what I like because it is who it is. It is what it made me to be. And I mean, it's not the only thing, right? I mean, Dragon Ball is kind of like the big thing.
Right.
But there's other things. There's other things that like maybe not as a kid, but older things, and as things came up that kind of like took my attention and kept my focus on it for like the longest time.
Right.
But like I'm like a big fan of Zelda, Mario, all the classic stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's like stuff like Undertale and Deltarune that's like a little bit more modern, I would say, even though it's gonna be 10 years. Oh god. But stuff like that. Like if something interests me and it interests me in a very particular way,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hyperfixate it on a while. Another thing. Another game that was also very very important and very inspirational to me
Mm-hmm.
was the Kingdom Hearts franchise. It came to me at like the most perfect time because oh my god, it's like especially Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like the games that like I played a lot as a kid, and so it was Dragon Ball, it was Kingdom Hearts, And yeah, those are like the big hyperfixations, to the point where like I still keep up with those kinds of those content, like that content,
Right.
to this day. Like, I still follow what Dragon Ball is up to. I still follow what Kingdom Hearts' story is still going to, even as complex as it gets, right?
Mhm.
And I still understand everything because I do dumb research all the time.
Yeah.
But I do research all the time on a bunch of things. But but yeah, in terms of hyperfixation, it's always like it's Dragon Ball, it's Kingdom Hearts. Everybody, it's a meme at this point, but everybody knows that I like Donkey Kong.
Mhm.
Donkey Kong is the big meme. Everybody knows that I'm a big Donkey Kong fan, to the
Mhm.
point where yesterday people kept DMing me about the HD Donkey Kong Country Returns uh, remaster
Yeah, because that was
coming on
on the
Switch.
yeah, because that was on the the news.
The direct,
The direct.
yeah, it was in the
Yes.
direct, yeah, which is so funny because everybody was like, "Oh man, I wonder what Jex's reaction is going to be like." Oh my god, it must have been something huge, and I'm over here like, "Oh man, that's cool. I like this," and then I moved on. But it's so funny. I mean, I liked it. I was just like, "Oh, that's cool." I mean, I own this game. I played it. I love it.
That's such a like a lesser reaction that everyone else would be like, oh my god, Jax is gonna lose his mind at this, and you're just like,
Yeah,
that's
everybody.
neat.
Yeah, I was like, "This is cool. I like it. I like this game. It's a fun game. I recommend it."
Mhm.
Right? But
Mhm.
I've already played it. I want a new game from the series, but you know, it's so funny. It's just so funny because I got a lot of people telling me, "Hey, what did you think about this?" And I was just like, "It's great. I love it." There's nothing else. This is really funny. But yeah, I've been known. It's probably because like if I'm gonna delve a little bit into this. The reason why these hyperfixations are like are continuous to this day is because you kind of never forget the inspiration.
Right.
You never forget you never forget like what it meant to you at that moment in time,
Mhm.
and what it continues to do. So like I still remember, being a little kid and doing my maneuvers, doing like the kamehameha in the bathtub, or and sometimes even when I'm older, I still do it because I'm a dumb dweeb.
Mhm.
And I still remember doing research back in the early days of Kingdom Hearts, and like, oh man, I gotta see this cutscene again. And it's like early YouTube,
Mhm.
and I'm watching like the Kingdom Hearts 2 cutscene in like a computer lab in like the early 2000s, because I was like, oh man, I'm so interested in this game. And then I would freaking print out just like an image, because like back then, right?
Yeah.
I would print out an image of that one of those cutscenes, and it was like in bad printer ink, so it was just
Yeah.
all pink and discolored.
It was all pink and discolored. Okay.
It was all pink and discolored because there was no ink on that printer.
Mhm.
But it was like, oh man, it's like I have this game here. I have it on my hands. Um, and I would put it in like a little folder. I think like the folder still exists to this day. I still have like a folder with a bunch of printed printings of like older things. Like
Mhm.
I think I had pictures of like Legend of Zelda stuff. Like I think there was like a manga page or something that I printed out because I thought it was really cool. They're all low quality, by the way.
Oh
They're all
no.
incredibly low quality,
Uh huh.
pink and discolored. Yeah, they're pink and discolored. There's some pink and discolored ones. Um,
Yeah.
there's a lot of printings of them. There's like old comic strips that were printed out on those things. Um, and I mean that's kind of how it was back then.
Mhm.
Because like we didn't have like cell phones were kind of like barely becoming a thing. So if you wanted to watch these old shows or like this game, you would have to go play the game, go to the save point that you saved, because you know that you have a save point saved at that one part
Mhm.
because it's your favorite part of the video game, right? You can't
Mhm.
go on YouTube because YouTube wasn't invented yet, or it's about to be invented.
Yeah.
So what do? You just find an image on Google, because Google was still going around, and you just print it out, and then you just have it there, and you can
Mhm.
just look at it whenever you want. And that's what I did with Kingdom Hearts a lot, and Dragon Ball too. I would have like I remember I have my brothers there's an old pillow casing with Goku on it, right? There's an old pillow casing with Goku because when we were kids, I had a pillow casing of Goku, and then I had like a blanket with some Dragon Ball stuff. And the pillow casing we still have to this day. It's in our closet, and I believe it's my brother's. And the funny thing about the pillow casing is that it's like Super Saiyan Goku on one side, and the other side is Krillin. But when I was a kid, I would never want to sleep on the Krillin side of the pillow. I always slept on the Goku side of the pillow, even when it was warm. I was like, I don't want to sleep on the Krillin side of the pillow, even though it's nice and cool. I was like, I want to sleep on the Goku side of the pillow.
I want to sleep on the Goku side.
I always, when I was a kid, I would do that. It was so funny.
That sounds funny. She's like, I want to sleep on the Goku side.
Yeah. It's like, I want to sleep on the Goku side of the pillow. I don't want to sleep on the Krillin side. I want to sleep on the Goku side of the pillow.
There was just a heavy preference for the Goku side.
Yeah. It was just like, oh man, this is the cooler side. I don't want to be with Krillin. He's not cool.
He's not cool.
He's not cool. And so it's just really funny that way. And obviously, like if you look, I don't have the picture on me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where it is. It's in my closet. It's like I'd have to dig in there, and I'm not digging in there right now.
Right.
But I know I took a picture of it at some point, and what do you call it? It's just like a screen grab from like the anime, but like I guess like it's kind of like redrawn. It looks nice still. Like I think it still looks nice.
Right.
But I just find it really funny that like that was the main thing we had back then. Like as a pillow casing, it was just like we had that. I would never ever sleep on the Krillin side.
You just didn't think Krillin was cool at all.
I just did not. I mean, nowadays I'm like he's a good character, right? Like nowadays I'm just like, oh, he's a cool character. But back then I was just like, no, Goku's the cool character. I gotta sleep on that side of the pillow. I don't want to sleep on the other side of the pillow.
Was Goku's side of like the pillow? Was it like the actual cooler side, like temperature wise?
No, that's the thing, because I always slept on the Goku side of the pillow, right? It was always on the top, so that's where my head was always on. So
Yeah.
it was always warm. But like nowadays, you know, I grab my pillow and I flip it over if I wanted to, because it's it's cooler on the other side.
Yeah.
Back then I was just like, nope, not switching to the other side. I got to stick on this side. I don't want to sleep on the Krillin side of the pillow.
I don't want to be
Even though it
Krillin.
was nice and cool. Yeah, even though it was nice and cool under there, I was like, nope, not doing it. Not doing it.
You were so stubborn about it.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of how my brain worked, I guess. It's really funny.
You're just like I don't want to sleep on Krillin. No Krillin.
No Krillin side. No, not allowed. I got it. It's got to be the Goku side. It has to be.
It has to be the Goku side. It specifically has to be the Goku side.
It specifically has to be the Goku side. I can't do it. Not Krillin. Not allowed. It's not real.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
I love that, actually. That's like my favorite thing to hear. Just like, I don't want to sleep on the Krillin side. I want to sleep on Goku side.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I think I'm already done. Just go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna move on to the next question, if that's okay with you.
Good.
So,
Yeah, gummy worms.
what was your first fictional crush as a kid, and does that crush still linger to this day?
Absolutely not. I don't know how to explain this, but I never really had any because I was more focused on like my hyperfixations as a kid.
Right.
I would see a character and I was like, oh no, it was not. Greg. Every time I saw Candy Kong as a kid, I would jump away from her kissy because it was scary. She would like blow a kiss and it was a little heart.
Yeah.
A little heart. I would always jump over it.
You're just like, ew.
I would always jump over it.
You're just like, ew.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Oh my god. That's just so funny
Thank you for the
to
hydrate.
me. Oh, thank you for... Hi, Sam! Thank you for the hydrate!
Ah.
I'm so tickled. You jump over Candy Kong's kiss. It's just like, ew! Cooties!
It's okay. So like I did a lot of these weird little things when I was younger. Like I would whenever I would see like the THQ logo, we would
Yeah.
always hide.
Yeah.
Not the THQ, that's something else. The THX or something like that, like that big loud noise.
Yeah.
We would always hide under the covers because it was scary.
Aww.
It was, you know, we did dumb stuff like that.
I don't want
we
to
would always
sleep
do.
on the krill inside. That's gonna be stuck in my head. I don't want to sleep on the krill inside.
That is a logical fear. It's really loud. But yeah, what was I saying? In terms of like fictional crushes, I would see characters and I'll be like, oh, that's a cute character, right? And I'll be like, oh, that's really cute.
Mm.
And then that would be it. Like I wouldn't think about them that much. I would like every time they pop up on the screen, I would be like, oh, that's, you know, that made me happy. But I didn't really think much about it.
Mm.
Like for example, I remember when I was younger, I thought like, do you remember Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers?
I do.
Were you okay? When I was younger, I thought Gadget was cute.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
one with
she
the
was
purple
cute.
jumpsuit.
Yeah. I thought she was,
Mm-hmm.
but like it never really went farther than that. Like it was just like, oh, she's really cute,
Mm-hmm.
and then that was it. I think I'm trying to remember. It was just like, yeah, it was just like kind of like, oh, I see a character, I think it's cute,
That's it.
and that was it. I'd move on. Nothing really lingered from there.
Nothing really
because-
stemmed. Nothing bloomed. You didn't become like
Nothing.
me.
No, not really, because I was too busy focusing on like, oh, I'm gonna draw me as a little kid. I'm gonna draw me as a stick figure fighting a giant muffin monster.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was literally what I was doing mostly as a kid. I was just like, yeah, no, nothing bloomed. It was just like me being distracted and me being interested in like my own little hyperfixations,
Mm-hmm.
like you know, giant muffin monsters, or I would be using dice, and I would roll the dice, and I was like, oh, that's how strong my attack is, and I would make little RPGs or something based off of that. Like we get like paper, we get like 6, and we'd like fight outside. It was stuff like that when we were younger. So unfortunately, So unfortunately, no interesting answers or insights on this one. It's just the only insight was I'm so distracted by my own interests that I wasn't interested in any fictional character.
I see.
So yeah, it's so funny because like Sen, you know how Sen is, and Sen has the hyperfixation for that one character. Sen had that crush, but I don't identify as that, and then I'm the one who relates more.
I see.
Yeah, because Sen is ace and I'm not. It's just so funny.
Mm.
So I don't know. It's just really funny.
That's fair in terms of like the character crush. Well, that was
Yeah.
sweet and simple. That's a-okay.
Yeah, sweet and simple. Nothing really happened. I was too busy thinking about not wanting to sleep on the wrong side of the pillow.
I don't want to be Goku. I don't want to be.
I'm too busy dodging Candy Kong's kisses. Too busy hiding from giant scary logos, fighting muffin monsters, and sleeping on the right side of the pillow.
You really had to focus on kicking that muffin monster's ass.
I really did. There's like stick figure drawings, and then there's like giant X's on the muffin monster because I defeated them, and so I just drew a giant X, and then like I like made a health bar on the bottom to signify its health, and then like the health bar would be like empty because that would signify it's full, and then every time I do an attack, I scratch it off a little bit so it looks like it was getting like
damage,
like losing HP over like losing HP over time.
Oh my god!
And like you can see some of those HP bars completely filled in because I won.
That's awesome, though. Actually,
And the funniest part was I was always overpowered.
oh my
It's
god!
the funniest part. I was just like overpowered. I just never took damage.
He's like, you can't touch me.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm too powerful.
You're the
keep
perfect
missing.
character. Who would win in a battle, Goku or Jex?
It was so funny. I mean, I did eventually a little bit later. I would use dice, and I would like roll. I was like, okay, this much damage to me, or I take this much damage, and then like there would be times where like, oh shoot, I
Practically
died.
untouchable.
Yeah. So it's stuff like that, which that was really fun. So, yeah, no crazy insights aside from dodging Candy Kong, but yeah.
Well, I'm gonna move on to my next question for you then. What sounds, smells, or images trigger your nostalgia?
Okay, very interesting question because I did look at this. I was looking at this question and I remembered something specific. There is a specific smell. I can't remember the exact smell. But I know it when I smell it. I think it might be like kind of closer to cherry or somewhere around that range. But when I was younger, I was playing on my, I know more video game stuff, right? But like
Yeah.
I was playing on my GBA, right? And I remember this distinct point. I was playing Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, right? And my mom would always keep an air freshener at the house. She would have like this one air freshener that would spray like spray some of that stuff. And she always had it at a very specific smell at that time. And I was in a very, very annoyingly hard boss that took me days, if not weeks, to beat.
Okay.
And it's like notoriously hard. And especially for the GBA port. And so, or not, it's not a port, it's like the GBA version. So I remember that smell because it was like during the time I was like trying to fight that boss over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's like weirdly nostalgic for that time. It's like, oh man, I smell this and I think about that one point in time where I'm in my room and I'm just like on my GBA, I'm just like, I'm trying to beat this boss. It's so freaking hard. Why is it so hard?
He's like, oh, what is that smell?
Yeah, it's like, what's that smelly smell? It smells smelly.
The smelly smell. It smells smelly.
But yeah, it was that's like the big one. That's like the big smell where it's just kind of like, I feel nostalgic over those times because it was like, where it's like related to a core memory where I'm just kind of remembering, oh man, I had a really hard time with this boss. But other times it's like, you smell like the smell of the beach, or you smell like, like, oh man, I remember going to the beach, or, all that stuff. But if there was like one specific thing, it was that. It was I tried so hard to beat this boss. I barely could, and I did it, but yeah, my mom had that scent throughout the house, and it was really funny. Actually, related to that, since you're talking about smell, but there's actually, I think you said, it also means sound as well.
Sound and images, if you can name some.
Sound and images. Okay, so I don't know the name of the song, right? But when I was a kid, I was playing Pokemon Emerald a lot, right? And I believe I had already beaten the game. And me, being a dumb kid, I believed this rumor. We all know this, but back then, even before then, even before then, there was a lot of rumors of Pokemon, right? So like Mew under the truck, and you trying to see if you can get Celebi without actually doing any of the other stuff. So when I was younger, I was under the belief that if you check the what was it called, the space station?
Yeah.
Over there in Pokemon Emerald, if you were to check it over 100 times and it says like 100 attempts, right? You would be given something to go to the moon, and you would catch Deoxys like a different way. And then I was like, oh shoot, I want to catch Deoxys. I'm working towards my Pokédex. I want to get it. And what I was told, or what I saw online, because dumb kid online, right? You believe stuff. It was like, oh, you gotta fight the Elite Four 100 times.
Oh no.
Or something a long time, right? It's like, oh, if you fight the Elite Four, that number goes up. and I believe that number goes up for for a specific reason. I forget what it was. Like I think it's like determined over actual days or something. Um, but when I was a kid, I would just grind the Elite Four over and over and over again. And usually, I wouldn't just grind them. What I would do is I would give like a lower level Pokemon. I would give it the experience share, and I would usually it's like it was a pretty low level, so that way, even if I was grinding, that Pokemon would still get experience points. It wasn't completely useless.
Right.
But I would as I was grinding, I was doing that kind of like a lot. My mom would have some Mexican music
Mm-hmm.
playing
Mm-hmm.
over and over and over and over and over
Oh my god.
again.
Oh my god. Uh-huh.
She freaking loved that CD so freaking much
Mhm.
to the point where I would hear it every single drive
Oh my
that
god.
we were in.
Oh my god.
She freaking loved that in loop. Was she clean? No. This would be in the vehicle. This was always in the vehicle,
Uh-huh.
right? Because the radio was in the vehicle, or like the cassette tape or whatever it is that we put in there. I think it was like a DVD or player or something. I don't know exactly, but she would play it over and over and over and over again, and I can hear it in my head right now. Right?
Oh my god.
I can hear it in my head, but it's a Mexican song. I don't know the name. But I relate that album to Pokemon Emerald, right?
Uh-huh.
So whenever I hear any one of those songs, because my mom doesn't play them anymore, but once in a while,
Mm-hmm.
once in a very rare blue moon, I would hear it, and instantly my brain just kind of like gets set back to when I was playing Pokemon Emerald
Uh-huh.
and grinding the Elite Four
Mm-hmm.
because of how much she would play it over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. Just like, and look, I'm gonna mention this now because I have a certain dragon in the chat,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay, because I know she wants to bring it up. When I was younger, right?
Yes.
When I was younger,
Yes.
we had a VHS tape.
Mm-hmm.
We had a VHS tape for Tom and Jerry and the
Oh.
Magic Ring.
Oh.
When I was a kid, for whatever reason, we would watch it over and over and over and over and over and over again,
Yeah.
to the point where I do not like this movie anymore because I watched it so much as a kid that I don't remember I don't remember it much at all right now. Right?
Uh-huh.
But if you were to play it instantly, I remember sound cues, I remember voices, I remember the way they spoke the voices, I remember scenes, I remember every single minute detail because we
Uh-huh.
watched it so freaking much as a kid. So much that it drives me insane. I'm like, oh my god, Tom and Jerry, I'm even like, my brain is just imagining Jerry with the stupid ring on his head because he had it throughout the entire
Yeah.
movie.
I love
Get
that
it through
movie though.
I know, but and the movie's great. But I watched that movie so much back then. It was so much of that movie.
Oh my
It
God.
drove me insane watching that movie so much as a kid.
Mhm.
But we would have Chicks movie night when Chad, do you really want me to relive that experience? It's like I'm putting on like my army vest right now. I'm just like, okay, Chad,
Chat.
I'm putting on my army vest right now. Chad, I'm going in. Look, you might not see me at the end of the tunnel,
Oh my god.
but tell Sen that I love them. I'll see you later. And I just like bop, 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 bop. And I go in and I watch the movie and then I never come out.
Yeah, you never come out.
Yeah, I never come out.
Oh my god.
It's just that movie. Oh my god. I don't remember if there was another movie that was like that where I watched it over. Well, there was like some Looney Tunes shorts. Oh no, not Looney Tunes. It was like some Disney shorts that I remember watching when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't to that extent. Reciting line by line. Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, the like the
You're
light
not
in
the
my
same
eyes
anymore.
just disappear. Yeah, the light in my eyes disappear. Like I'm just like looking up into the heavens, and I'm just chanting Tom and Jerry and the Magic Ring.
Oh my
Just
god.
chant. There's a wizard in that movie. I know there's a wizard in that
There
movie.
is. There is.
Just, it's like even mentioning it. It's like I'm remembering some things. I'm like remembering.
Yeah.
It's like it calls to me.
It calls to you. Oh my god.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry and the Magic Ring. It calls to me. It's like I'm here. Don't you forget about me. I'm here.
Don't you dare forget about me.
Can't forget Jerry wearing that stupid ring for the whole movie.
This is that stupid mouse
It's
I
so
hate.
it's so funny because that movie was something that we had. I think we might still have that VHS tape somewhere around this house. And the moment I lay my hands on that VHS tape, it's like my hands are gonna singe. Like they're gonna catch on fire the moment I grab it. It's like when you open. It's like in that movie. What was it? The freaking where they Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Where they open the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
And it just like melts the man's face. That's gonna be me when I find Tom and Jerry and the Magic Ring again. I just said Tom and Jerry the Magic Ring, and my brother freaked out right now.
Freaked out.
Because he knows how it's like. He knows the true horror that is Tom and Jerry the Magic Ring, and how many times we watched it as a kid.
Oh my
He
god.
knows the true horror. We watched it so much.
I'm just imagining the nightmares that you all had from Tom and Jerry and
so
the Magic
much.
Ring.
So crazy. Sen found a Game Boy game of that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of our so we did an anniversary stream.
Yes.
Where we would have sub goals and all that stuff for
Yes.
anniversary. And one of those sub goals was met, and that will I think all of the sub goals were met. But one of the main ones was we're going to be playing childhood or like the Game Boy games, childhood games, stuff that like we want to share.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the games that Sen wants me to play is the stupid Tom and Jerry and the Magic Ring Game Boy game that I've never played before.
Yeah.
Which is okay because I'm giving Sen bootlegs. Because hey, fun fact, Tim.
Yeah.
I grew up with some bootlegs.
Yeah.
I grew up with some bootlegs.
Did you know?
Video game bootlegs. I Pokemon bootlegs too.
What kind of bootlegs can I ask?
I'm talking about a Game Boy Pokemon bootleg that was supposed to be like it was based off of the Smurfs.
Okay.
And Pikachu. I'm not kidding. Sen will attest to this because Sen saw it and Sen started laughing hysterically. Pikachu is so fat that he lags the entire game.
Oh my god.
I'm not joking. You think this is like, oh no, he's just chubby. No. He is chubby. It's like the chubby Pikachu designs. But he literally, like the game is running normal speed. The moment he pops on screen, instantly the music slows down.
Oh my god.
It just, everything slows down. It's so freaking funny.
Oh my god.
Okay. I need to show you.
Please.
Because
enlighten
I need
me.
to show you. Yeah, I'm gonna make Sen stream this. I know Sen's gonna stream this. I will be there with her on that stream.
Please.
Let's see. Pokemon. Hold on. Pokemon Go bootleg. Hold on. It's on Game Boy. I know it's gotta be. Hold on. Pokemon bootleg.
Mm.
Leg. Let's see. I forgot what it was called. What's it called? I have it, by the way. I have the game.
Take your time. Don't worry.
Yeah. Let me find it real quick because this is something that I played when I was young. By the way, this is not just like, oh, funny. I'm thinking about bootlegs. This is a core childhood memory.
Right.
That I had. This is a childhood thing that I grew up with. And it was crazy that I was even like grown up, that I grew up with bootlegs and stuff like that because I just had a weird childhood. Let's see, where is it? It's called Pocket Monsters Go Go Go. Yeah, Pocket Monsters Go Go Go. There you go.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You only play like the first, like, I don't know, like minute. Only play. No, actually, you don't even need to hold. Wait, hold on. Let me see. How far does it go? Oh my god. Yeah, like the first minute. First minute. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me copy this. Make sure you put volume down before you put this in, just in case.
Okay. Hold on. Let me.
Just as a warning. Okay.
Okay.
This is it. Okay, you can show this on screen too. You'll be fine.
Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up on.
Yeah.
Let me pause my music.
Just make sure you put a little volume. Yeah, make sure you put a little bit of volume down because it's kind of a loud game.
Okay, hold on. Let me. Oh, I got. Okay, it's already been turned down. Okay, good.
Good.
Browser properties. Oh wait, no, wrong thing. Hold on. Window capture. That's what I want. Okay. So far, this looks like a Sonic game.
No, go all the way back. All the way back. You gotta go all the way back.
This one?
Start from the beginning. Start from the beginning.
Oh, okay. It kind of started like that. I thought you meant like don't. I thought you were saying like don't full screen it. Don't full screen. I'm just like okay.
No. You could full screen. I'm saying don't start. Yeah, start from the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. You need this freaking music is nostalgic to me. By the way, freaking.
What is this?
Every night in my dreams.
I see you, I feel you. You are here, so I very fear there
fear
some hate that will not go away far across the distance and spaces.
You can't
and between us, you are my nightmare.
You can't make this text go a little bit faster.
Okay.
So it's not. They just made it slow for whatever reason.
Hold on.
Look at all these like religious symbols. No, that's the.
Is it the slow?
You see what happens when you see it slow down?
I thought. Wait, I set it to play faster.
No. Set it back to its regular speed. Go back. Set it back to its regular speed. And go back.
Oh god. Oh, this is unplayable.
Okay. But look, go back to the beginning part right before Pikachu comes in. Look at the way the gameplay is. Look how smooth it is.
Yeah.
And
oh
then,
my god.
And then the moment he enters, the game goes so slow.
That's me. That's what happens when I enter.
It's so bad.
Oh my god, it's unplayable.
So I'm making Sen play this. This is, by the way, this is how I played this game.
And you were fine with it?
I don't think I ever beat it, but yes, I was fine with it because this is what I thought the game was. And then I saw the actual game, like the Smurfs game, and it was moving so fast, and I was like, what the heck is this game? Why is it so fast? I'm not used to this music being at this speed.
Oh my god.
Even though it's the original speed.
This is painful.
So, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I'm gonna make Sen play that.
I fear for Sen.
You should. You definitely should.
I do.
She chose this.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
There is definitely another one. I can show you some other time, but there's one where it's Sonic 4 on the Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, is not real.
It's not real.
There's no Sonic 4 on the There's no Sonic game on the Super Nintendo at all because they had the Genesis. Sonic 4 on the Super Nintendo, it was basically bootlegging off of a Speedy Gonzales game.
Okay.
And it was Sonic. You played as Sonic, and you had to rescue Mario's.
Mario's?
Yeah, like Mario. And you go, Mario! And he goes, Mario!
Mario.
He goes, Mario!
Mario.
Yeah, yeah, he goes, Mario! And he goes, Sonic!
Sonic.
He does that.
Sonic.
Yeah. And he goes, and every time you rescue him, he goes, Mario! It's so funny. It cracks
so
me up.
Funny.
Also, for some reason, you're in hell.
Huh?
Like, the background is just red.
What, in the game?
Like yeah, like the background is red, some of the stuff is missing, so it looks like you're in hell.
Oh my god.
Do you want me to just show you? Because it cracks me up.
Actually, just show me. Show me. I'm so curious.
Yeah, okay. Sonic 4 for Super Nintendo. This freaking cracks me up. It's so freaking funny. Just make sure you go... Hold on, let me make sure I'm all the way back.
No, take your time.
I already found it.
Okay.
This is unlicensed. So yeah, just go all the way back with the video. This music, by the way, the music that plays in this game is supposed to be the boss music. But for some reason, they just put it throughout the entire, like, level.
Okay, let me...
So I sent you the...
Got it.
I sent it to you. Okay. This freaking game... Jex made me watch it. No, yeah. Jex made me watch this for 20 minutes. It's true. Look how awful this is. I grew up with this, by the way.
Huh.
This is something that I grew up with.
Oh, my eyes. Oh, my god.
Look. So this is the game, right?
Yeah.
You start off, and now you're in hell. Well, wait for it. The game's taking a little bit. There you go. Now you're in hell. Now you're in hell.
What? This is like Sonic.exe bullshit. What? Oh my god. Oh, what?
Except this is real. This is a real bootleg that existed before any of that.
Oh my god. Sonic.
Like, you hear? They hear that? Okay, wait till he
did.
gets Mario and wait till he gets Mario. He goes, Mario! It's really funny.
Oh my god.
He should be getting to Mario pretty soon. It's freaking... There you go. Mario!
Why is there just a random Mario? Oh my god. I'm so lost.
It's okay, I was too. I had access to this, by the way. I played this when I was young.
And this was like, yeah, this is normal.
I never beat it, by the way. I never even got to the boss. I just stayed in this hell level for this entire time.
Did you ever ask your friends at school, like, hey, did you play the Sonic game? It's my favorite. It's like, Jex, what is this?
No. I never did.
Did you know that they were like bootleg games, or?
I think I did for the most part. I think I thought no. I think I just thought they were weird. I don't think I ever knew the term bootleg at the time. I just like, this is weird.
Okay.
But I think I thought they were real. I think they were real, and they were just weird. Like, because like I remember when I was younger, and at some point, like after not having access to that game for a little while, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember it behind, like in the back of my head, I was just like, you know, there was that one Sonic game. What was it? And I felt nostalgic over it, and the music never left my head. That stupid yeah, that song.
Yeah.
So it never left my head. So I remember looking it up, and I was just like, oh, it's a bootleg.
It's a bootleg.
So yeah, it's a bootleg. Same with the Pokemon one. The same with the Pokemon bootleg. I was just like, oh, I thought this was like a weird Pokemon game, but no, it was a bootleg. So it's just so weird that I had like bootlegs growing up, and I was just like, this is totally normal.
I got it.
So this is really funny.
I just got a gift from my brother. Oh.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, wow. It smells. I can't tell if it smells like cigarette smoke or... My brother went to a thrift store, for me. Well,
Mhm.
he went with his girlfriend, but he found me. Oh, I'm gonna start hyperfixating on these again. Oh no, he found Monster High dolls for me,
Oh, of course.
and they're
I
originals
remember
too.
this.
They're originals too. I'm not gonna open them on
Oh, that's
stream right now, but I am gonna
no.
play
You
with them
gotta.
later.
You should probably do a what's it called, unboxing stream at some point.
I mean, like they're in bags is the thing. I don't want to I don't
Okay.
want to pull away from your interview.
No. I'm talking about like a future stream, an unbagging stream.
Oh well, I mean, there's really not much in it. I couldn't do like a stream with it. Honestly, if like
I mean, you can just.
Uh,
You can definitely play Gart in a Band and then just take it out. Look, chat. Sorry to interrupt your Gart in a Band, but I gotta show
Honestly,
you these dolls.
there is one thing I do want to do for stream where like, you know those like little baggies for like mystery mini baggies and like you just open them all at once, like the whole box full of them.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So there's one for Garten. Oh my god, my eyelash fell. There's one for Garten and Band.
Mhm.
And I want to have a whole set, but I need to buy the whole box. I need to buy the whole box, and it's like almost $200 to buy the whole box and the whole set. And I'm just like, I don't have that kind of money, but I want it so bad.
That's so funny.
It's great, but yeah, that I'm gonna put that aside for me later.
I'm just gonna grab a stick and just push that away.
Yeah. So if I may move on to the next question for you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, do you think having nostalgia or nostalgia itself is a weakness or empowering as we grow up?
I would say both. It depends.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on how you perceive it and depends on how you use it.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, using it as inspiration, I would say, is the most empowering thing because it is the thing that that it's the thing that kind of latched onto you. It's the thing that you like,
Yeah.
right? And so, using it as an inspiration is very good because it's something that inspired you. It's something that you hyper fixated on, and something that you want to share. You want to share the love for that thing, and the way you share it is making it your own, like making your own version of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in terms of being creative, I would say, yeah, that's it. I would say it's good to do that. But there's also kind of like the negative downside to nostalgia, and I would say it's probably kind of like more of the current climate in terms of nostalgia baiting. So, like for example, you say like, "Oh, hey, you remember this? You remember when we were fun? Remember when we were good?"
Remember we were
I would
fun?
say that's. Yeah, I would say that's kind of like the negativity or the negative consequences of having nostalgic things, because it ends up not understanding why people are nostalgic about it to begin with.
Right.
It becomes more of, hey, good times were profitable. Let's think about the good times, and hey, we should be profitable. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I get what you mean.
But nostalgia does not hurt. It just reminds you. It's a reminder. Nostalgia is a reminder of things that have passed, right? It's the way that you perceive that past to be what defines your view on the nostalgia.
Right.
So if you just remember something from the past, like let's say there's a loved one that you had, like it could be a friend or it could be a family member that is no longer around, then I would say that nostalgia is good because you're remembering something positive from that time, right? But if you're misremembering it or you're remembering something negative that comes from it, then I would say that's more traumatic than it is like nostalgia.
Yeah.
But there are people who use nostalgia as kind of a justification for something else that doesn't what do you call it? That loses kind of the idea of what nostalgia is supposed to be.
Right.
So I would say it does depend, but for the majority of the time, nostalgia is just kind of like a fun reminder of where you were back then and where you are now. So I would say that would be the answer. I would say it depends. It depends on your perspective.
I do agree with that. It does sometimes it does depend. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'd say sometimes it also depends on you as a person as well. So sometimes if you know what you're doing, nostalgia is a fun thing. So you know, I would like to believe that a lot of nostalgia is great,
Mm-hmm.
and it's good to be nostalgic over things. Just remember that you are here now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
yeah.
I do agree with that, honestly. Like, yeah, that's very true.
Hmm.
Moving on to my next question. If you could bring back one thing from your childhood into this current day and age, what would it be? It could be anything from an old TV show, a discontinued product, anything.
Okay, so when I looked at this question, I was looking at the discontinued product stuff, and that's one of the most important things I would say is making old stuff accessible.
Mm-hmm.
So like, for example, one of the things that I was looking at is kind of like, okay, I want to watch, like, let's say I want to watch a film, right?
Right.
Or I want to watch like an old TV show, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
want to watch it in the way that I remember watching it, and I want to watch it in the old school way. Like I want to get the old CRT television, and I want to, put in a DVD or a VHS tape, and just watch it from there. Watching it in that old 4:3 aspect ratio, or like that old aspect ratio.
Right. No, I get what you
That
mean.
box. And well, you can't really do that nowadays unless you find like a really old used one,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because no one makes the older televisions anymore. So,
No.
night, Greg.
Oh, good night,
Um,
Greg.
and so, in terms of like trying to get access, I mean, reasonably, it's probably not. It's not really that reasonable unless you find it profitable as some sort of like what do you call it,
Right.
antique business or something.
Yeah,
Which I mean, I'm sure those exist, right? But
they do.
in terms of like availability, you can't really access a lot of these older projects anymore. So you can't really, unless you find them like in a thrift store or something, right? You can't really find access to like CRT televisions, even as plentiful as they were.
Mm-hmm.
You're always going to get them used.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of older gaming systems, which get harder and harder to preserve, which why preservation is really important. Um, there's I would say older things that you can't get access to anymore. So
No.
like if I had like an old Game Boy that I wish I could get again,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it stopped working, and I would want I want to have like I would either buy a replacement or buy replacement parts, but then all of a sudden for some reason they cost more than buying an actual console itself. So it's just
Right.
like, oh man, kind of wish they still made these, so it's not too difficult to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like old toys, right?
Right.
You can't really buy old toys anymore unless you buy it from a like a vendor who happens to have that old toy. Like you can never get like an old toy that's nice and new
Mm-hmm.
unless like somebody kept it in the box for all those years. So it's kind of weird because it's something that's inevitable due to time,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you can't have access to every old thing because some of those things are obsolete for a reason, and those reasons may not be to your liking, but those reasons exist because it's you know it's just how the way things are.
Mm-hmm.
The time passes by and you can't get access to those things. It's just kind of a shame because sometimes we all like those things and we want to make sure that we keep it so that we remember them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard. CRTs require specific knowledge and tools to fix, which no one really knows or can make money with, which is why they're thrown instead of fixed. It's wild those things were complex. It's true. Also, another thing
Mm-hmm.
is that a lot of knowledge from back in the day is being lost because things are being, like, for example, coding, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of coding that's like really well done and people do great, but like if you were to see people who were coding back then compared to people who are coding now, it's a lot different because a lot of the programs that you use for coding is like it kind of does like a lot of the process for you. I mean, you still do a lot, right?
Right.
But like for example, I'm gonna bring it a little bit into Gart and the Band Band.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, okay, so think of it this way: the person who created Gart and the Band Band, right? They're an indie creator, right?
It's
And
two guys. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So obviously I can't bring them to the same standards, right? But
Mhm.
how well optimized is that video game?
Not.
Probably not. Probably not that well optimized at all,
Mm-mm.
right?
Mm-mm.
Which is understandable, right? Because they're just two people making a video game on their own. Again, completely reasonable, completely understandable. But if you were to go to any AAA company now, and I would say anything maybe aside from like Nintendo, they have download sizes that are massive
Mhm.
because they do not know how to compress their video games. But basically, video game compression
Mhm.
is something that's kind of losing its like importance
Yeah.
because like optimizations are important for running a video game,
Yeah.
right? Because it helps the whole system run and you don't have that many issues, or if you do have issues it won't be as major as like your game being destroyed or something. um, but because a lot of these processes are a lot more simplified, if you were to look at the older days where people had to actually freaking code, like hardcore code into the things, they had to like know the actual program that they're working in like in and out.
Mhm.
um, Things are compressed like insanely well. I mean,
Mhm.
and I'm not just talking about 16-bit games. I'm talking about like, I'm talking about like even the 64 days or even like PlayStation 1 days into like GameCube, PlayStation 2. Um, like they knew what they were doing because they had to know what they were
Mhm.
doing, and so that knowledge is being lost because those people, because it's not as required anymore to do it,
Mhm.
and so what do you call it? And so I think it's important to keep that knowledge, and so what do you call it? That's one of those things where I kind of wish we brought back a little bit of that,
Mhm.
you know, kind of way of thinking. Like, hey, we gotta know what we're doing here.
No, I get what you mean. Yeah.
I don't know if it's still a big thing, but 410 was a language for everything, especially industrial. At one point, if you still knew Fortran really well, you could make big bucks. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like, um, there are some people with like coding skills from back then. Um, like they probably know a lot because they're really experienced.
Mhm.
So yeah,
I'm like processing everything that you said. It was very like I never consider it all from that point of view of like like damn. You're so right
it's like
though.
imagine it's like imagine this.
Mhm.
Hold on, I'm still eating gummy worms. Hold on,
No, take your time.
give me like 1 second.
No, go ahead.
It's like I need these gummy worms. They're so good. Um, okay, imagine this.
Mm.
Imagine if there were no traditional artists anymore.
Right.
Imagine if almost every artist, was pure digital, which is kind of true. It's not completely true.
Mm.
I would say the majority of artists nowadays are digital,
Mm.
but we still have we have like a lot of
Yeah.
traditional, and traditional is not going anywhere,
Yeah.
right? Which is good.
Mm.
Okay, imagine a world where that was different, where we don't have that many traditional artists. We only have mostly digital artists, right?
Mm.
And traditional artists are like starting to lose, like they're starting to kind of like go extinct, right?
Mm.
And the knowledge from those traditional artists, the techniques and everything they've learned, techniques that they carried over when they also started doing digital art,
Mm.
started to disappear. It's kind of like that,
Mm.
where if you met somebody, if somebody who was a traditional artist meets up with somebody who's a digital artist, they can learn a thing or two from those older ways. It's not that digital artists are not good at what they do. They very much are. I mean, I am one too.
Yeah.
It's just you can learn a thing or two from people who did it before, and losing that knowledge is losing history
Mm.
and losing a lot. And that's kind of the analogy I'm giving with the whole coding thing. It's kind of like, yeah, you can code a lot today. You can code a lot. You can do a lot more than you could do back then. But
Mm.
you're losing a little bit of that insight that people had from back then. A lot of the compression and all this other stuff, and so people forget, and knowledge is lost, and it's a real big shame.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
That is like definitely a different point of view to like describe it. Just like you're like absolutely right with that though. Like whatever we know and like whatever we might lose or put the possibility of like any talents, especially like it's a part of history, and like if we lose that, then like what we'll have for the future then.
It's kind of a thing where it's like there are tasks, or there certainly throughout history there are talents that have been completely lost to time, right? And that's just kind of the inevitability of the way history works or the way time flows, where at some point knowledge will be lost, right?
Mm-hmm.
And only the most essential thing will be remembered. And it's a little bit of a shame, but as long as we kind of keep up with the way we remember things and the way we kind of write things down, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it'll stick around for as long as for a lot longer than what it could have been before.
You're very filled with wisdom, Jex. I just want to say that, by the way.
I'm just sitting here. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're...
I'm just sitting here thinking about gummy worms.
It's just like the things you're saying are very like they sound very like whimsical. Wise Oxy. Wise Oxy.
Why Zoe? Oh my god.
Why Zoe?
I'm just sitting here. See, can't you hear it? I'm just like, gummy worms.
So this next question is a very like the answer is very obvious, but I'm still gonna ask it. What was like your thing as a kid? Was it art, gaming, writing, any of the stories? And how has that hobby and skill developed over the years? And how would you compare it to your younger years?
I think this is a pretty obvious one.
Yeah.
I think this is pretty obvious. I don't think I need to say much about this, but yeah.
Do you want me to go on to the next question?
No, well, for the most part, I will go a little bit into it. I would say for the most part, I mean, it is in terms of evolution. Hey, Diggs. Hey.
Hi, Diggy.
In terms of evolution, oh, I should do a little stretch too and hydrate.
I'm stretching. Oh my god, my back.
Some of that water.
Oh my goodness gracious.
There we go. Okay, so in terms of evolution, I would say, like, you know, obviously it started off with whenever you start off, right? I always tell anybody like who's a new artist or an artist who's probably been there for a while, maybe they don't feel like they're improving enough. I always started off with stick figures, and a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
I started out with stick figures, and I already mentioned before, but you know, stick figures destroying giant muffin monsters,
yeah.
right? Over time, you start experimenting, and experimentation is one of the most important things for an artist, because it's when experimentation, through experimentation is when you start understanding what works and what doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, like, oh, I'm going to try this out, and it always starts off with that. It's like, I want to try this thing out. You try it out, doesn't do it, it doesn't work the way you wanted it to, you move on. But if it does, then that's where the fun begins, because then you've learned something.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be, you can learn something good, you can also learn something bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you can learn a good trait, like, oh, I'm doing it this way, but then you learn a bad trait for something else, right? Like, oh, I'm learning some bad trait.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to spend a little bit of time kind of like unlearning that, or kind of like altering the way you think about that specific trait to kind of make it your strength.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So sometimes, like, for example, let's say you got a trait where you drew like an ear a very specific way,
mm-hmm.
right? It's like, okay, well, I'm always drawing it this one way, and I've been used to drawing it this one way for so long, right? But if you let's say you make one little edit that makes it look a lot more appealing, like
mm-hmm.
you decide to kind of simplify it or something, and then all of a sudden it's not that different than the way you were doing it before, but you simplified it to a way that your brain likes, and it still looks good, and so now you've adapted and you've evolved it into something a lot more preferable.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, I remember when I was younger, when I was drawing, I drew my characters, and I remember getting this weird point of advice. It was more like, oh man, your characters, they had like really pointy chins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh man, I took that criticism really, really
To
personally. I was
heart.
like, okay, yeah, I took it not personally like I was offended, but more like, okay, too pointy. And
Mm.
so I just rounded it off too much. Like I rounded up, I just like made it like a circle at some point, and
Mm.
I was like, okay, well, it's this is fine, but it's a little bit on the extreme. So I, over time, I just started kind of like, okay, let's kind of round up those features, kind of like let's experiment. And over time, I found out what I like to do, and I have my own signature, distinct style, and even then, there are still some things that I would say that still carried over from when I was younger, like the way I kind of I experimented a lot with eyes. I drew a lot of eyes like very weirdly, like because like okay, so like Dragon Ball was kind of like the big inspiration, right? And the way I drew eyes was kind of like an evolution from that. And so
Mm.
when I was younger, I drew eyes a very specific way,
Mm.
and I was like, okay. And then I had my when I grew up a little bit, I started trying to draw eyes like if they were like anime, because everybody had the anime phase, right? So I was trying to draw the eyes like if they were kind of like anime eyes, a
Mm.
little bit more detail and everything.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of effort. And at some point, I was just like, I have more fun drawing eyes the other way. And it wasn't just the anime eyes. I experimented with like circular eyes. There was a lot of experimentations
Mm.
at some point. At some point, I was just like, okay, what did I like about when I was drawing when I was younger? And so I looked back at a lot of my older art, and I was like, okay, this looks nice. I like this, even though this is an old drawing that I would never show in public
Mm.
because it's old and dying and yellow and old. I I was like, oh, the eyes look fine, or I like the way this little drawing looks, or this is
Mm.
cute, right?
Mm.
And so I would be like, okay, what if I modernize that? Drawing it like that, but kind of like to my own current sensibilities. And then I did that, and I ended up kind of getting closer to where I wanted to be. And so over time, it just kind of like adapted from there.
Right.
So sometimes it's hard to break a habit, but sometimes even if that habit is hard to break, you can still mold it into something that's a lot preferable.
Mm-hmm.
It's think of it this way. Um, so when I have like I have the brain problem,
The brain.
right?
Yes.
So yeah, so for a while I was given like so I would go on errands, and I go on errands all the time, right?
Mm.
And so I was given a task to purchase something using a card, right?
Mm.
I would always accidentally use the wrong card because I would put the card in my pocket,
Mm.
and I would never use it. I would use the card in my wallet instead.
Okay.
So it was a habit. I couldn't stop doing it.
Uh-huh.
I just kept doing it by accident.
Uh-huh.
So what I ended up doing was, okay, this is a problem. This keeps happening. What do I do to circumvent this? What I would do is anytime I was given a card that I was supposed to use, I would
Mhm.
grab that card and I would put it in my wallet.
Okay.
That way, when I instinctually grabbed my wallet, I would look at the card in front of me while I'm taking it out, and I'll be like, "Oh, I need to purchase with this card instead, not my regular card."
Right.
So that's kind of a way of working around the brain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you're thinking of it this way, but you got to do it the other way instead. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I get
And
you.
that's kind of like the way in terms of art. It's kind of a similar way as well. You're doing it one way, but you got to think of like, okay, this is still kind of weird. It's kind of a problem. Let's go ahead and see if we can find a way to fix it in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So, art is very much like that. It's like if you make a habit, if you can't break it, try to mold it.
That's a good mindset to have on that. I like that.
Yeah, it's always attempt to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No,
You can't.
that's a healthy mindset.
Try to adapt as much as you can, because sometimes habits are hard to break. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you don't need to break the habit, you just need to break the way that you're thinking about that habit.
Mm-hmm. No, that makes
But
sense.
so yeah, art is definitely like the passion that I have. Gaming, obviously, I'm a streamer as well,
Mm-hmm.
so I stream and I do both. To finish off that question,
All right, all right. Well,
yeah.
this is one of my favorite questions, by the way. Uh, what would you consider the cringiest thing you did as a kid? And would you do that same cringy thing again, or would you have changed it if you could?
Oh my god. Okay, so God, it's so hard to think because like there's so many things that I did as a kid, in terms of like cringe and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I could look at old, I don't know, I could not look at them. There's like old text messages or something,
uh,
and you can't. I could never look at those ever again because they're probably awful. They're probably like awful.
uh-huh.
Like even between like a family member or something would be awful to look at because it's just like the lingo back then was just awful. Um, so it's stuff like that. It's stuff like my dumb jokes when I was younger, like a dumb comic strip joke that I would look at. I'm like, this isn't funny. This is dumb.
This is
Um,
dumb.
yeah, this is dumb. I don't like this. Um, so like, a lot of it has to deal with like my own art,
uh,
right? Like, so I look at an old art piece and I'm just like, this is cringe. Why would I draw this? I
uh,
but back then when I was making it, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Why? This is so cool. I like this cool thing.
I like this cool thing very
I
much.
like this cool thing very much. It's so cool. Um, but nowadays I'm like, why did you make this? Why are you real? Why did you exist?
This isn't right.
In terms of specific examples, I can't remember. Oh, okay. So there's an example. So one of my oldest OCs is Zen,
Yeah.
right? She's the peak. She's a character in the peak animation that y'all post over here in your chat.
Mm-hmm.
So she's one of my oldest OCs. She's existed for probably older than certain people in chat.
Right.
Um, so so her first introduction was in an old comic, 70 pages or so.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was good at making comics, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
I was good at making a lot of comics, even though they're probably all bad.
Uh-huh.
And her first introduction was, "Oh my god, is that a girl?" And then like, there was like some weird like, I think it was like something related. It was like some joke that I think was like inspired by stupid freaking like the freaking Kool-Aid guy.
Yeah.
I think it was like the Kool-Aid guy joke, and I think one of the people who said "Oh no" was like a freaking sandwich.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't remember exactly what the joke was, but she was like originally dressed up like as a ninja, and like the mask came off, and it was like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh no, it's a girl." But it wasn't like "Oh no, it's a girl, run." It was like, "Oh my god, it's a girl. She's a girl." That was the joke. It's like, "Oh, it's a girl."
It's a girl. Oh my god, it's a girl.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, "Oh, female alert," and that was lit. Like that was just it.
Uh-huh.
There was nothing else. It was just like, "Oh, she's a girl."
Oh, she's a girl. That was it, yeah?
That was it. That was it. And I was like, this is so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Like I look at it back now, I'm just like, ugh.
You're just like, this isn't even funny.
It's not even funny. Wow. No, it was literally like, oh my god. Like so I think like the sandwich had googly eyes or something.
But it's so funny though.
It exists. Like it's not like it's lost media or anything. It's like I have that comic still archived somewhere in my home.
Mm-hmm.
It's like somewhere I keep it safe because it's like one of the oldest things that I have. Or like it's an old thing
Mm-hmm.
that like that I worked very hard on.
Treasure
That
it with your
is
life.
really bad. It was really bad,
Uh-huh.
but it's like, I'm not gonna like throw it away or anything because it's like history.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, I was always like, I might look at these things one day. I might not like I might not like what I'm looking at, but I appreciate that I kept them for this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was younger, I tried doing my best to keep everything that I made. I was never really good at organizing any of it,
Mm.
but I always thought like, one of these days I'm just going to look at this and see how much I've grown. So I might as well keep these.
I see,
So
I
I
see.
tried. So I tried keeping all the old stuff that I had, and I'm happy that I did because it's very, even though it's a lot of it's dumb and cringe and it clearly me trying to be cool because I was like, oh man, I want to go on cool adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm glad that I kept them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would say cringiest thing would probably be my personal favorite character of my personal one of my personal favorite OCs.
Uh-huh.
Her introduction is just girl.
Girl. Just
I have so
girl.
much cringe art too. It's nice to have them though to remember. Sen, you were definitely that person. I don't know how to explain it. You were definitely the type of person like the. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it was very. You were that girl. I don't know how to explain it. Like it was just like you were the one making the art with you're probably making them like with the character behind their back, the hands behind their back, the anime eyes. I'm not making fun of Sen. I think it was cute, but I'm just
Aw.
saying it was. You little oh yeah.
uh, we all have sorry, so all have like our own story of like cringy art. So it's nice to hear that as like
No
something.
ears, no ears or noses.
No ears, no nose. Well, I'm gonna ask you the next question,
Yeah, go ahead.
Jax. Uh,
Go ahead.
do you think your past self would be excited / proud of the person you become, or do you think otherwise?
I think yes.
Mm.
I think yes, mostly because it's more of like a. It's mostly because it's kind of like a. It's kind of like a continuation of that answer that I did earlier about the always wanted to do animation but never being able to do it.
Yeah.
I think yes because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were certain things that I wanted to draw that I couldn't,
Mm-hmm.
that I can now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the mere fact of that alone means that I probably, to my younger self, successfully did something.
You've achieved that dream for your younger self.
I cheat. Yeah, I would say I achieved that for my younger self. I might not be as like professional as many other people are,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I did it though,
You did it.
and I think I did it though. So I think yes. So I think so. I would say yes. I mean, I wouldn't be so sure because I'm not talking to my own past self. But I
Mm-hmm.
think yes because art was always this important thing, and it continues to be so. And so I would probably say yeah.
Well, it's so funny you bring up you're not your past self because we segue right into the next question. If you could go back in time, what would you tell your past self? Oh, I'm so good at segues.
Oh, if I did get good, nerd. Get good, nerd.
You just point. You just get good.
Just get good. Kick myself in the face. It's mostly like try not to. There's always a way. Try not to panic
Mm.
in certain things. It's not as difficult, or it's not as like it's not going to be as how do you say it? It's not going to be as stressful as it looks. Things always find a way. There's a solution to many things.
Mm.
A lot of it's probably more of like kind of like an answer to like anxiety or all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's more of like a hey buddy, things are gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. Things are still there's still troubles ahead, and it's always just gonna be like that. But
Mm.
you're gonna learn this skill. You're gonna learn this thing at some point because I'm already here, and you know what? You're getting good, nerd,
Mm-hmm.
and that would be That would be the answer.
Very nice, very nice. Well, Jex, I am at my last question for you for this stream.
Okay, this is the final one.
The final one. Did you have lamp sketchers as a kid?
No, but I was actually thinking about this question. Okay, so I never had light up sketchers as a kid, but when I was younger, and I'm talking about really young, right? I'm talking about really young. I'm talking about like first grade.
Oh, we're going young. All right.
Yeah, this is like a core memory I have. When I was young, there was a fad that was going on, and the fad was curly laces.
Curly
shoelaces. Yeah, it was curly shoelaces. It was a big fad when I was a kid, or I remember it being big.
Huh. Okay.
It was like curly shoelaces, and I remember. I distinctly remember this because I remember I had a coach when I was younger who always looked out for me. Who always looked out for me. It was very nice. I think I have this thing where where like teachers sometimes, like not all the time. I've had very horrible teachers. I had a little bit of trauma with certain teachers, but there's like certain teachers who kind of look out for me because I'm just like, I guess like I look pitiful or something as a kid. But where I was always just kind of like that weird person. I don't know, but I had a lot of nice people, and there was this one coach that I remember. I remember he gave me those laces, and I thought they were really cool. And again, I was like really young, but I remember that. Like I remember looking at those laces, and I remember, and I was also like in a different school. It was like really early on before like the new school was being built and it was being made, and I went into that new school. But I remember that. Like I remember those shoes, and I remember like his kind of like nice gesture, and people were like very. It was kind of like everywhere. It was like a big fad. Like people were like, "Oh, look at these curly laces! Look how cool these are!" And I just remember a lot. Everyone was wearing them. I just remember everyone was wearing them, and I was like, "Man, these are so cool." And obviously those laces are long gone by now. But yeah, that's what I remember. Another thing was that like that same coach later on would give me a pair of shoes. You just give me a pair of shoes, and it was a very nice gesture. It was a very nice gesture. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see. I've
never heard of
laces.
I've never heard
shoes.
of curly shoelaces. I've heard of
Yeah,
Heelys, and I heard all sorts of shoes, but I've never heard of curly shoelaces.
It was when I was very, very young. I was super young. But it was these curly shoelaces. I would say something, yeah, kind of like this. Yeah. Okay. Let me open image. I would say kind of like this, if not. Well, let me find a better image because this is a little different. I was trying to show you like the boxes.
Take your time.
The box. Oh, this is kind of nostalgic. Just looking at it. But they were like curly laces for shoes. I'm just gonna send the picture I was originally gonna send you. Let me send that one first. Let's go ahead and send that one. There you go.
Let me.
So I send it to you?
Yeah, I got it. Oh!
It's a bit of a low quality. Yeah, it's a bit.
I think I've seen
low quality
these before, but like I haven't heard of them in such a long time. Hold on.
It was an old.
Oh my
fad.
god, this is so tiny.
Yeah, it's so small. It's such a low quality image.
Yeah, I think.
But it was like something.
I've definitely seen these before. Not in person, but like
online.
Like
it was like. I remember being. You never seen those. It was a big fad. I remember being. Again, this was like. I was really young. I was like very young. I think I was like in. I was still in my single digits. So I was like, I was pretty young at the time, and I just remember it very, like pretty vividly, but not like completely. But I remember like it was a big fad. A lot of kids were wearing them. I wanted them. I was like, oh man, I want these, and I remember the coach giving it to me. It was very, very nice. I think some of them were also glow in the dark too. Oh,
Shagar, thank you for the raid. Hello, raiders. Hold on, let me give you a shout out, Shagar. Hold on, thank you. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Gaming Central. Oh, I nearly typed that wrong. Hold on.
welcome, Raiders.
How are you? I'm doing good, Shagar. How are you doing? What were you doing on your side of Twitch, if it will tell me? It doesn't exactly tell me, but I hope you're... What were you doing on your side of Twitch? Very tired? Aw, me too. I got it. I get ya. I hope you're doing well. Take care of yourself. I hope you had a good time on your side. I'm actually very close to being done interviewing my good friend Jex here about shoes.
Yeah, we were talking about shoes. This the whole stream. This has been what, like how many hours? This has been 3.5 hours talking talking about shoes.
Yeah, only shoes.
Only shoes, nothing else. No other topics have further been discussed.
I got a good night. I hope Back for Blood was fun, Shagar. Thank you again for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Welcome. But yeah, I've never heard of curly shoelaces before.
Yeah, no, they were. I remember them being like kind of like a big fad back in the day, but obviously they. I just like I think even like by the end of that year or that school year, I remember that they were gone by then. Because I remember like when that new school was built, which is like I believe a year afterwards it was done, and I went to part. I attended that. It was, I think the fad was done by then. Actually, another thing funnily related to that is in terms of shoes. There's like this core memory I remember. This is like from third grade. Yeah, this is like from third grade. I was sitting in the middle of like kind of like in the hallway, kind of not really a hallway, but it's kind of like you know how like there's like the where all the classes are. There's like a little like it's kind of like a I don't know how to explain, like a cul-de-sac essentially.
Yeah.
Of classes.
Yeah.
And so we sat in the middle right there.
They are so cute.
And I remember, hey Bandy, I remember we were having we had like a guest over, and I believe the guest was like a comedian, right? And I remember this because it kind of felt like he was calling me out in a funny way, right? He was like, oh man, don't you ever like it whenever you get like new shoes and you keep looking down at them?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I felt so called out in a funny way. Because I had recently gotten new shoes at that time, and I was doing that very thing. I was like, oh man, I got new shoes. I'm looking at my shoes. And then it was like, I was like, he's speaking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I felt like I was being called out, but like I think he might have actually been calling me out. I don't know because it's been forever. I don't even know who that man is. But yeah, I remember him just saying like, "Oh man, whenever you get new shoes, you just look down. You're always looking at your shoes." And I'm just like, "Oh man, I'm doing that right now. How does he know?" He probably just saw me. He probably just saw me looking at my shoes.
How did he know? Oh my god!
It's like, oh my god. It's like, how did he know?
You're just looking at your shoes. Just like, oh my god.
It's like, does he know all the other stuff? Does he know about the Dragon Ball pillows? Does he know about the
Dragon Ball pillows? Does he know about the Dragon Ball pillows? I hope he doesn't know. I don't sleep on Krillin.
Does he know that? Does he know that I jump over the candy corn kisses? Does he know that?
Does he know that? Does he know that?
Well, will he punish me for not accepting those?
Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
So yeah.
That's you know what, I'll take that. If not layup sketchers, I'll take that.
Yeah, well, obviously, I mean, I didn't have any. Yeah, no, layup sketchers. I don't think were a thing back then. I don't remember if they were or weren't. I do remember light-up sketchers though. I do remember some. I think it was like later on when I was a little bit older.
Right.
When light-up sketchers became a thing. I mean, they might have been a thing before then, but I don't really remember. But I do remember them being a thing at some point.
Right.
And I remember kids, or I guess I don't remember if I was a kid or I was a teen, like a preteen or teen yet. But I do remember people wearing light up sketchers, but I never had them. Now, a thing that I remember a family member having was what was it called? The skating one?
That was the Heelys.
Heelys, that was the one. Heelys was the one that I remember. Heelys to me was like kind of cool, but I was like too afraid to even use them. Because I was like, oh man, what if I fall? And so I never had them, but I think I've tried them out at some point when it was there. When they were kind of like when they were like crazed back in the day.
Right.
But funny thing, I'm actually not bad at skating.
Oh, you're not?
No, I'm not. I actually, I've gone to a couple skate rinks a couple times. Not recently, but I'm talking about like I'm gonna say maybe like 2017, 2016, somewhere around that era. I remember going to one for my birthday at one point, and I would just skate. I'm not like the best skater, but I could skate for like I remember skating for hours on like roller skaters. It was usually the ones that I would put on were like the 4 ones, where like a one on each side of the foot, instead of like the ones where they were kind of like in a line. You know how like they have the wheel ones in the line.
Yeah.
I think I would wear those, and I remember skating, and I remember kind of like trying to do tricks on them. I didn't do very good, and I would fall sometimes, especially early on. But like when I would get used to it, I would be like skating in circles, kind of like going around the entire rink and just going in circles because it felt like a lot of fun.
Right.
And I remember getting used to it, and I remember being able to stop. It's one of those things where like if I tried skating now, it would take me a little bit, but I'll probably still remember how it works, and I'd probably be able to skate. So and that fear of not being able to use Heelys probably justified, but definitely didn't. It definitely didn't define the fact that I was actually good at skating. So which is funny.
That's really surprising, huh?
Yeah, I didn't know that I would be good at skating. I mean, again, I'm not the best at it, but I was, I could go out there and I could skate. Yeah, I'm not trying. Go ahead.
I just want to say what Bandy was saying. Apparently, his life sketcher scared them.
That's so funny.
That's so silly. I'm not
just like you turn on the light.
I'm just, I can't help but giggle.
It's like somebody steps and then Bandy goes.
Get that away from me.
Stop, don't do that. Don't bring that to me, please.
Don't bring that to me.
We were scared of the weirdest things as kids. Oh, speaking of, okay, really quick, because I know we're going to end soon, but okay, let's talk real quick, because I know I want to bring it up at some point. I freaking miss old creepypasta era.
Yes!
I miss it. I freaking miss it. I know I was like, when I came into it, it was like, I had already graduated. For me, right? But I freaking missed that era. It was so fun. I remember a lot of the classic stories. I remember when Slenderman was still kind of like
a big
popular
thing. Yeah.
I remember reading creepypastas. I remember freaking loving the Pokemon stuff. Even though it was bad, I just liked it because it was just fun. The Pokemon ones were like the ones that I always looked at. Tim when creepypastas.
I love.
Chet.
Sorry. That's me.
Yeah, you're like Chet. Remember, Chet. If you don't know, I wrote a creepypasta for Tim.
You did
a long time ago.
You did, and I wanted to draw like scenes for it, but I haven't had the chance to. I might do it. I'm gonna do it for October.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stream it, like me drawing all the scenes.
You should. That's so funny because I made a creepypasta for Tim a long time ago because I miss that era. And it's bad on purpose.
I still have it.
But
I still have it. Like it's saved.
I still have it too. I have it written down. Yeah. I wrote a creepypasta that was like bad, except for like one paragraph where I like wrote it normally. Because I thought it was so funny. Where it's just like badly written throughout the entire thing, and just like one paragraph where it was just like properly written. cracks me up.
I love creepypastas. Oh, I love creepypastas so much.
I thought, you know what's really funny?
Uh-huh.
One of my favorite ones are like bad creepypastas that are done like sometimes they're done on purpose, sometimes you can't tell,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's this one that I remember reading on stream. This is not archived, unfortunately. I wish it was.
Mm-hmm.
There's just like one creepypasta. It was like a Pokemon one that I read on stream.
Uh-huh.
Where where at the end of the game, like he's like, oh, and then it killed me, and now I'm dead.
Yeah!
Goodbye.
Yeah!
It freaking cracked me up so much.
It killed me and then I'm dead.
And it killed me, and now I am dead. This is me speaking from like the afterlife or something. I don't remember if he said heaven. I don't think he went to heaven. I don't think he went to heaven. but yeah, I always say that the end of the creepypasta era was when I believe when FNAF came out.
Mm-hmm.
I would say is around the time the creepypasta era ended, because it started the mascot horror era,
Mm-hmm.
or the FNAF era for a bit. So even I still like FNAF, but I kind of miss those before days where things were just a little bit more spooky.
Yeah.
I miss those days.
No, yeah.
And so sometimes every Halloween or like around that time, I'll go back,
Mm-hmm.
read some creepypastas. Like some of the there's good ones. I like the good ones too. There's a lot of good ones, but it's the bad ones where I love looking at. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Cracks me up.
The good days.
The good old days of. I remember in college I was reading one,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, it was, you know what it was? It was the Lavender Town Syndrome one.
Oh yeah.
I was reading that creepypasta. I was like, what the heck is this? Because I had never read a creepypasta at that point. I was like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
Is this real? I was like, this is not real. I was like, because I wasn't like, I thought it was like some weird story that might have been real at the time,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't know what a creepypasta was back then.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think creepypastas were like a thing maybe like 1 year prior.
Mm-hmm.
I forget when creepypastas popped up. It was like 2010, somewhere around there. But when I first saw it, I was like, "What the heck?" I don't remember. I remember like secret Lavender Town music.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was hooked. Not hooked because it was scary, but hooked because I thought it was funny.
Oh no, I think one of the creepypastas that like didn't scare me was Ben Drowned. Actually, that didn't scare me as a kid. I thought it was funny. If anything.
Okay. I thought it was interesting, but that creepypasta ended not too long ago.
Yeah, it did.
It continued, but it kind of got like really. It continued. It was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because the creepypasta was actually an ARG for a while, but it kind of like when it got revived, it kind of lost the plot,
Mm-hmm.
and then like it kind of became all weird. I was like, okay, kind of like lost me a little bit.
Yeah.
But oh my god, sent me something. She sent me something that was like that's gonna be appearing on her stream soon.
Mm-hmm.
She showed me a preview, and it's related to me specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, oh my god, it's so exciting saying that. It's a little preview of what's to come. So I'm super excited for that. So yeah, creepypastas are like something I miss and something I don't think I can forget about.
Mm-hmm.
And so if a new one gets made like at least once a year, that'll make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
Because at least I get to read one. There's some good ones. I remember loving Candle Cove. I think it's still good. Candle Cove.
Never heard of Candle
That's
Cove.
actually Candle Cove. You've never heard of it?
No,
It's
never
like,
heard of that one.
It's basically like some people would like. Okay, so basically it's like somebody in a forum, right?
Mm-hmm.
The way the story starts is like, oh, somebody's in a forum. They're talking about like, hey, do you remember this children's show that we used to watch, or that I used to watch, or that used to be on TV. Does anybody remember this? He starts like filling out these details, and is like, "Hey, this is." And he's like remembering it. He's remembering this children's show, but the way he remembers it is like it's. He's like, "Man, this show was kind of not good for kids because it was like weirdly dark and weirdly inappropriate, but like not. It was kind of like, oh, this guy's called like the Flesh Eater or something like that. It was like weird, right?
The Flesh Eater,
And
yeah.
Like that's not the name, but like, I think one of them like ate flesh or something, or like had, I don't know. It was like a meat puppet or something. I don't remember, but
meat puppet. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
meat puppet.
It's just funny to
But-
me.
But yeah, it was more of the. Excuse me, on the.
Very good.
They were like, oh man, these like they're getting like these memories. I guess like it kind of revolves around the nostalgia part of this. I'm revolving it back, right? This is part of the nostalgia of this stream, right?
Mhm.
So basically, these people are getting nostalgic over an old show, right? And so they're like, oh man, this was weird. And so they start researching it, and then like they figure out, oh hey, the show is Candle Cove or something like that. And apparently it was only shown to like a select few kids or something like that. And whenever the parents would look at it, it's like, hey, and they would ask like, hey, do you remember that show we used to watch? And he was like, and the parents would respond, show? Oh, no, honey, you were looking at static this whole time.
That's kind of
It would-
scary.
Yeah, and it would be like something like that. But like, I think the way the story was written was a lot more interesting than the way I'm explaining it. But yeah, I think you should probably look at it.
I'll definitely look
It's
that
probably
up.
a lot better.
I'm gonna definitely
I know
look
that the
up.
show. I know there was like a adaptation for it that popped in
Mhm.
for some of those things. So it was actually, I remember it being pretty good. There's other recommendations I could probably give you that were like a legit, the actual legit creepypastas that are like
Mhm.
not terrible.
Mhm.
But
I need to do another creepypasta reading at some point. I did a creepypasta reading with the Geek Squid and Lukey Studios a while back.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
And we need to do another one. We've been planning for another one. We gotta do another one. So
Yeah.
if you have any good ones for me to read, I'll definitely save those.
Well, I mean, in terms of good ones, I would probably say,
Mhm.
oh man, there's definitely good ones, but I'm trying to think of one specifically. I know like there's Ted the Caver, which is pretty good.
Mhm.
But Ted the Caver is a lot more slow burning.
Yeah.
That one's a lot more slow burning and a lot more technical. So I don't know if it's less of a interesting read and more a little bit like maybe a little boring. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say it's boring. It's a good read. It's a good creepypasta because it's like basically it's a guy who's talking about like he's going in a cave. He's like discovering the cave, or he's like kind of like, oh, I'm gonna go check out this cave, and like as he progresses, it's getting a little more and more claustrophobic,
Mhm.
and things get a little bit weird. You
Right.
don't really see anything, but it's like, oh man, at some point, like towards the end, he's like, I gotta go back, and then he's never seen again. It's pretty good, but at the same time, it's pretty long and very like detail oriented because it's very like, I think it's like one of the earliest creepypastas too.
Mhm.
So it's like somebody who has very like adept knowledge in cave exploration
Yeah.
clearly wrote that.
Mhm.
So it's definitely one of those like interesting stories. But so that was that one. I think there's a really bad. No, this is good, but in a very disturbing way
Mhm.
that I only recently heard because I was watching a podcast. This one's more viewer discretion. This is viewer discretion because this is pretty bad. This is pretty like bad in a very adult way. It's Baraska.
I've never heard of that one.
It's like pretty brutal at the very end, I would
Mhm.
say, in a very kind of uncomfortable way. I'm only bringing it up because it's like it's one of the more well-known ones. I did not know about this until like I would say this year,
Mhm.
but apparently it's like one of the more well-known ones from back then.
Mhm.
But it's I would say viewer discretion for that one if you ever come across it. Read it on your own.
I'll definitely keep
For
that
your
in
own thing.
mind. I'll definitely keep that
Yeah,
in mind.
keep-
I gotta go
yeah,
creepy
'cause
pasta
it-
hunting.
Yeah. But I'll keep you updated if there's any other ones that I can think of. Those are the ones that I probably at the top of my head.
I do much appreciate it, Jex. Thank
Oh,
you.
actually,
Mhm.
actually, one recommendation that I would say.
Mhm.
This is a real recommendation.
Mhm.
The ending is not my favorite. I would say the ending could have been a little better, but Godzilla NES.
I know that one. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good one to me.
It's a really good one. I love Godzilla NES. You know, there's actually a sequel series
I did
to
not.
that one.
Is it?
It's not-
Is it a
it's-
sequel?
It's
or-
not finished.
I
No,
didn't-
it's a sequel series.
I didn't know
Same
about
person
that.
made it.
Huh.
It's not finished yet, though.
Oh, I didn't know about that. I gotta look. Oh, I need to look into that.
Oh yeah, it's called Godzilla NES Replay.
I'll definitely need to look into that. But for the time being, we are reaching my time.
I am getting pretty tired.
No, you're so fine. I just want to say, Jex, thank you so much for joining me today. I learned so much new stuff about you now. Like how you did not want to sleep on the Krillin side. Or how you had curly shoelaces.
I'm just sitting here.
Alright,
Oh man.
will you ever sleep on the Krillin side?
I don't know. We'll just have to see next time on Dragon Ball Z.
No, but thank you, Jax, for coming on here with me. I really do appreciate
course.
it. And I love
Yeah,
hearing you talk about it, all this stuff.
Yeah, if you ever need another guest again, you know, you could always hit me up.
You should come on here again.
Yeah, I'll just come up over here again. Next episode, that's me. I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna talk about that little piece of lint on the wall.
That right there, that lint on the wall.
Yeah, that specific lint right there on the wall. Talk about Garten Ban for 10 hours.
You know I'm gonna stream Garten Ban again soon.
Oh, I mean, you streamed it yesterday.
I
I'm assuming
did.
You're gonna stream it again.
I have like, well, fun little thing, chat. I have another Nostalgic Chatters guest tomorrow and Friday. We got like two. Like we're gonna get to like 20 episodes eventually if I find more people.
Well, who's it gonna be?
I never tell.
You never tell?
I never tell. They have to come to see it for themselves.
You have to cut the...
No
No one will ever know.
No, that's the surprise. No one ever knows who's my guest, and that makes it more fun. But yeah, I'm gonna have another Nostalgic Chatters episode tomorrow and Friday. This Saturday, however, I am going to do one of my reward tiers for the art shop donations, which is my sketchbook tour of my old sketchbooks.
Ooh.
So if you want to see really cringy Tim art and me screaming about it, join me this Saturday. But in other news, again, thank you, Jex, for joining me. I'm setting up a raid to go raid my good sloth friend Hibby.
Hibby.
They're playing Pokemon. I love this generation. It's Gen 3, my favorite.
Oh yeah, Gen 3, that's great. I think we raided Hibby not too long ago, actually.
Oh, wunderbar then. I'm getting like a little sleepy right now. I didn't get that good sleep last night, but
Oh yeah, I know how that feels.
no, yeah, thank you all so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.